Yo, it's your boy Rush holding it down with the Labudo Network. Right now, I'm promoting my side hustle, Rush Enterprise. If you're in the state of New Jersey, need armed guards or unarmed guards, call up my business line and I'll line it up. The bigger the contract, the more money we make together. You heard? Today, I got a special guest. He go by the name Team Fatty, the CEO and leader of the Untouchables crew. Yo, Fatty, man, let the people know who you are, give them the MO, and let them know what you about. You word, talk to them.
The Untouchable Empire, baby. I'm Ferry. I'm a male stripper slash YouTuber, and I'm here with Rush Labuto Network. Rush being a great YouTube friend to have. He's only invite me for a fun time, so we are here back on a Saturday to give him a great show. You can find me on Team Fatty, Shut Up Fatty, and Wake Up Fatty. Three different channels, but we're going to talk about that later. What do you have for me, Rush? What do you have for me? Are you doing, Rush? You're not on the restaurant today, Rush. I like. Oh,
Yeah, not today, man. Not today, man. Ain't
I
trying to catch
see
no
you.
more strikes over here. You heard?
I see you, Rush. Like I was expecting, like a bunch of people just walking around and shit. But I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah, not
appreciate.
today, man. Not today.
That's awesome. What we're talking about, Rush? I saw the thumbnail. I was like, damn, we're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets legend Carmelo Anthony. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to just jump into that, man. I want to ask a few personal questions, and then we'll transition into that. Know what I mean, my first question for you is right. I know your ethnic background is Cape Verdean. Were
yes,
you born out there in Cape Verde and then moved and migrated to Portugal? And if so, give us the breakdown on that.
no, my parents are Cape Verdean. My dad is part of the Portuguese military because Cape Verde didn't have it was a colony, so we was living in Portugal for like 1 or 2 decades before I was born. So I'm first generation European, and that's it. Like first generation European, born from Cape Verdeans. Portugal and Cape Verde are on the next phase of the World Cup, so life is good. Everything is going perfect. But I'm a first generation European, if you can call me that.
Okay, okay. Now, like, cause I know, Cape Verdeans they speak the language called Creole. Am I
Yes,
saying it right?
it is Criollo, which like there's a lot of Creole. Like you probably see a lot of countries that they say the language they call is Creole. Criollo
Right,
is the Portuguese version of Creole, which is like in the islands and some places that were occupied by colonies. They don't talk
right.
the French, they don't talk the Spanish, they don't talk the Portuguese, but they talk like a version of that. So is exactly what you're saying. It's called Criollo, which will be Creole in translation.
Now, do you speak Creole and Portuguese, or you just speak Portuguese only?
So Creole is very close to Portuguese. If I was to go to Cape Verde, I would pick up very quickly. I just not fluent on it because I never talk with nobody Creole. I probably talk English more than I even talk Portuguese, but it's something that you can easily assimilate because my parents talk with me like that the whole life, so it's kind of easy to go there.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, man. Like I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, man, and there's a lot of Cape Verdeans within Boston. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So I'm pretty cultured within the Cape Verdean you know what I mean
yes.
culture. Now, have you ever been to Cape Verde before, or?
Yes, I've been twice. One was a kid, a little bit when I was older, and on the last part of my life, I'm going to travel Portugal and Cape Verde because technically I don't know my country like that. Every time I travel, I go like international trips. When I get older and slower, and I can't walk as fast, and I don't have time, I'm going to go around my country, which is easier to do. And of course, going to actually visit the motherland because when I went there, the infrastructure was not good. So every time that you go there, if you're not staying on a resort, if you're actually staying in a village or going to a place, like the internet is slow, some places still didn't have electricity and all that. But on the last 15, 20 years, it actually getting there. So I'm expecting to spend, if I live to 70 to 80, a lot of my time probably there. So we will see.
Okay, okay, yeah, because it's still they're still doing a lot of building over there, and yeah, man, like I think that would be a good investment to buy some properties out there in Cape Verde or whatever. Um, Now my next question for you would be I think your brand Team Fatty is an incredible brand, and I remember in your earlier years of streaming, you would implement the Majin Buu character within your thumbnail. Now, did your brand kind of like was inspired through that character of from Dragon Ball Z Majin Buu? And if so, give us the breakdown on that.
So I always used to. So when I got fat, because I was in shape for the most part of my life. When I got fat, I started using the Majin Buu, the Fat Buu, as my personal avatar, and I changed my name. Like my name is Landing, and I changed my name to Fat Landing, right? So when I came
Mhm.
over here, like everybody had like a nickname. I wasn't a content creator. Nobody was putting their name there. So I was like, hey, my name is Fat. Uh, let me do Fatty. And then it catch fire. So it's kind of a just play on words on the Fat Boo, Fat Majin Buu. And
Okay.
it actually fits the purpose because is like Majin Buu has a bunch of transformations. Majin Buu has a bunch of modes: the evil, the nice one, the bad one, the in shape, and all that. So, the end of the day, actually, I think is going to be a brilliant branding because um, once I move on, once I get into shape, maybe I'm a little bit calmer today, maybe a little bit more. See what I'm saying? Like Kid Buu, I can play with the team. So it was an accident that actually was ended up being good branding, in my opinion.
Okay, okay, yeah, because I know you in your earlier streaming years you used to stream off Fight Club. I don't know, the Fight Club with Anton Daniels. Like a lot of y'all used to be there, like Yul Freezy and a whole bunch of streamers that progressed and becoming like incredible content creators now. Like is that one of the inspirations that had you to encourage you to make your own channel and do your thing right now to this
No.
level now
Mm.
from Fight Club?
No. So I was a content creator before I got here. For 10 years, I covered basketball on my country. Like I had the biggest, if not the second biggest page of like NBA related content, right? So I came here for a vacation and I ended up staying. When I got to Fight Club, I wasn't a content creator. Matter of fact, kind of nobody was. We were just doing that because it was fun. And the after Fight Club, I worked a year for free. I went to the Black House, worked with the G Prince. Then I was kind of doing collabs with Talingal Q. I started to work with other people. I was working for free just for the love of the game. Circumstances then kind of pushed me to do content, and then it actually ended up being like the transition. But there was not a master plan or an inspiration or nothing. I kind of stumbled into this. Matter of fact, when something happened, I wanted to do kind of a version of Fight Club during the week because Fight Club was just the weekends, and there was so much motion going on that people didn't want to wait those 5 days to go back to Fight Club on the weekends. So very proud of being a Fight Club. Very proud of the things that I did there. Actually, I was the last king of Fight Club, which is something that I can brag about. Um, Very proud of the situation we had over there. Very thankful to Aaron for kind of give us a little bit of a push. Very thankful of Anton for being a great sparring partner and let us go fight and go to war at that time. That actually, in my opinion, prepared me to be this content creator that I am today, and especially is prepare me to go to the next upper echelon because right now we are dealing with a lot of big content creators. And I think that those experiences, the early experiences with Anton, with Angry Man, like all these kind of prepared us to when we meet all these content creators with 100, 2,000, 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers is not nothing. There's no nervousness. There's no you better than me. I can punch you in the face because I did it before. So I actually appreciate the things that we had going on when we were on Fight Club, just doing it for the love of it, for the love of the game.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Can
Now
I
my
ask you a
next question.
question? Can I ask you a question before we go?
Yeah.
Two questions. What do you know about Fight Club? And if you're familiar with the Cape Verdeans in Boston, because I've been in Boston 2 times before too,
Hmm.
what do you like about them? And you can say the woman can be doing that.
Okay. Okay. What I love about Cape Verdeans,
Hmm.
one, they're not racist towards black people, even though they're considered to be Latinos or whatever, black Latinos, but like they don't hold that colorism thing as much as all the Caribbean. You know what I mean? And plus, their culture is similar to our culture. For example, the type of music y'all listen to, y'all actually make compa music, and that's kind of like similar to the people that are Haitian from the Caribbean. They also make that same version of the music. So the food is similar. The music is similar, and the way we go about life is similar to Cape Verdeans. That's why I have a strong liking for my Cape Verdeans. And shout out to all my Cape Verdeans out there, Brockton, Boston, Dorchester, all of that, man. Como vai? You already know. Nah, man.
Eh, You're funny. And the last one, what what is the reference that you yourself have from Fight Club? Because people keep asking about Fight Club like he's a legendary, like he's like a forbidden. He's like Fight Club. You don't talk
What
about
I
Fight
know
Club.
about fight, what I like about what I know and remember about Fight Club it was like a space where everybody kind of like had their debates on there, and it could get like nasty at times, here and there, but I guess it was kind of like a form of like debating and having like uh a disagreement on certain subject matters, but that's where everybody that watch like the Anton Daniels and the Lapeef network, like when they leave day space, they will go to Fight Club, and like the Fight Club was like, they did it like overnight hours, like from midnight all the way till like 7 in the morning. That's what I remember. You know what I mean?
Do you have like any favorite character from Fight Club or any moment?
Oh, not really. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't on it like that, but it got my attention to the point where I would tap in from time to time. Know what I mean? Cause when Fight Club was popping off, like I wasn't even in the YouTube circuit like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I wasn't
And,
even like hopping on people's panels at that time.
and that's the same with me. The Fight Club. I was a YouTuber doing Fight Club for a very short time, like probably 2 3 months at most. Like all the highlights, all the big moments, and all that was me as uh like the regular person, like a civilian. So it's interesting that we kind of didn't caught it like on the prime of our like YouTube careers per se.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even consider myself a real content creator, man. I get inspired by content creators like you or UCT, Anton Daniels. Y'all kind of like make me want to say my piece in this lane.
Sure, absolutely. And I'm sorry for breaking the rhythm of your questioning, but I had to actually ask you back to see if you actually were in tune with the. Because you said, "Oh, I know the Cape Verdeans in Boston." I was like, "Let
Yo,
me
yo,
see."
I vibe with Cape Verdeans, man. I really
I just,
do, man. Yeah, I mean,
I
I
just
got a lot of
needed,
close friends that's Cape Verdean. Know what I mean?
I just needed to make sure that I'll keep you honest about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now I ain't gonna front, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, that's something crazy to lie about.
Mhm.
Yo. My next question for you would be as a man from the European side of things, what's your perspective on Carmelo Anthony's case?
I think the case became a racially and political motivated case because people are more interested in actually pushing that agenda than to actually see who's right or who is wrong. So this situation became a circus, right? A lot of people on both sides pretending that they can read minds and they can read intentions. Oh, the white kid is a racist. Oh, the black kid, he was premeditated. He always wanted to do that. Like, people forget that this is kids. This is a situation that, for whatever reason, people flip flop depending on who is doing who. The same people thinking that he was guilty, then was defending Chud the Builder, and then the same people that are going to go and defend Carmelo Anthony. If a white person does the same thing, they're going to say that that person deserves to go to jail. So is tribalism to the utmost degree, right? Um, Politics already like that. It's kind of a sports thing now. Everybody has their teams and they'll roll along. Religion already is like that, and the racial issues and the racial hustle is one of the most profitable hustles right now. So I kind of refrained from talking about it. The only show we did was with Andrew Wilson and Myron pulled up, but for the most part, I believe that Carmelo is guilty. I just don't think that the death penalty, or if he's going to be convicted to 35 and he gets released after 17, 20 years, I think there's a fair punishment for something that I can't completely call a murder. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
proving that is 100% intention and premeditated. I will change my opinion completely if he did the gesture 3 times, the tap tap tap, right? If you do once, if you do it once, and the person dies, I think people a lot of times deserve the benefit of the doubt. So I will do the same thing for the white boy if he did that thing to Carmelo. I truly would. So um, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he should get live in jail? Like, do you think he should get, like, what do you think he should actually should get?
Yo, I mean, yo, I know I'm going to get some pushback from you and everybody else with it too. I don't think he should do any time at all, man. I think he has the right to defend himself. Obviously, within that demographic in Texas,
Yeah.
it's predominantly Caucasian people.
So
From what I got from the situation, it's like, hey, man, he was exercising his white privilege towards Carmelo Anthony. By the from the words he chose, the verbiage he chose to exchange with Carmelo while he was sitting down was pretty aggressive. The media is trying to paint this image like, like Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor, but Austin and his brothers and his white supremacist friends were pretty aggressive, and that's just my personal opinion. He should not be doing any time. They jumped him, and he had the right to defend himself. You know what I mean?
so my thing is, I just want people to be consistent. You see what I'm saying? Just be
Mm-hmm.
consistent. Because this case, it could go either way, right? It could get live
Right.
in jail or it could get scot free. The thing is,
Mm-hmm.
and again, remember, this is actually, I like the way that you worded the title. From a European point of view, I'm confused because y'all taught me Texas
Mm-hmm.
and Florida is the land of fuck around and find out, right?
Yeah.
Like, stand
And
your ground. If you do this to
go ahead. Go
me,
ahead.
like we literally
Mm-hmm.
was talking with Myron, and Myron has two circumstances where he literally pulls the gun or somebody that he feels that is a threat. And everybody's like, yeah. Again, like in Fresh and Fit, the same thing with Andrew Wilson. When the big dude, the bald dude, the Wes Watson was threatening to smack him, he said, "Oh, so you threaten people on states that allow stand your ground, lose?" And everybody, was, yeah. So either, like, I truly think is completely unjustified for you to get touched and to knife somebody. I think it's very, very, like, it's an escalation of like, it's a tremendous escalation. But I'm European. Remember,
Right.
I'm on the place
Mm-hmm.
where nobody has guns. We fight each other, right? The United Kingdom
Right.
kind of has a problem with knives and all that, but you kind of expecting that is if I punch you, you punch me back. in the United States, if most of these people tomorrow, if a situation happens and they will literally defend the person to stand your ground, Zimmerman and Riedenhauser and all these people and Chud the Builder, the same people that are telling this good kid to go to the chair, literally are defending Chud the Builder and all that. I just want to understand, what is the stand your ground for? It's just like the guns, what they used to do. Everybody should have a gun. Okay, we are the Black Panthers. Can we have a gun? No, no, no. Guns are forbidden now. You can't have guns anymore. Like, are we doing the same thing we did with the Second Amendment? It's all fun and games, self-defense, and fuck around and find out until a black person does it, and then we do it like we did with the Black Panthers. Everybody should have guns, but as soon as the Black Panthers have guns, now we start to pass legislation to make sure that they don't have guns. Like, where are we? Just be consistent about it and tell us if you believe in fuck around or find out or not. And I guarantee you, most of the people in the chat, most of the people that are content creators, if I go long enough and back enough to their portfolio of content, you are going to see a situation where somebody defended themselves with little force when nobody actually was trying to do something little because they're at their own ends, and they're going to say it's very legitimate, he feared for his life, and he stand your ground rules in Texas and in Florida, so he got what he got. Just be consistent. I don't think these people are being consistent at all.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Well, with Austin, right? He had a reputation of being a violent individual. Like, he broke his father's arm. Um, there's a lingo he used that his fist is bisexual, and which means in lame terms, like, he'll give the beats to a female as well. Like, this kid has a aggressive past, and he has a reputation of being a bully. Now, for the people that saying that, I'm kind of like being overboard with it. Like, what gives that kid the right to not only use profanity towards Carmelo Anthony to leave a tent that doesn't belong to him, but what gives him the right to put hands on him? You know what I mean? Like he felt comfortable enough where he felt justified to put his hands on Carmelo Anthony, and he found out, losing his life, that
Sure.
it wasn't a wise decision to put your hands on another young man, like
Sure, but
yourself,
free.
you know.
So Rush. So for example, right? I believe in crimes of passion. Let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if a woman comes home and her husband is having sex on their marital bed with another woman, I believe if she grab a frying pan and she eat somebody upside the head and that person unfortunately perish, I believe that person should do 4 years in jail and then go scot free. Because it kind of was on purpose, but I understand why a person will get on that state of mind, right? I would understand why a husband gets home and has his wife and another person sleeping on their bed, and something bad happens to them. I believe that the law that is going to punish these people should be way not harder, should be actually way more softer on them than people that is doing that just because of doing. And a lot of people would agree with me. Like, if you are on the situation where somebody puts you on a state of mind that is, you can literally go insane, I believe that should be kind of like some like, we should be a little bit softer to the person that does that. Are you agreeing? Like, do you agree with that? And why just the walking scot free? Why not saying, you know what, the kid responded, he didn't start shit, but he should do, let's go, he's 17, he should do 7 years, and by 25 he will be outside and he will have the chance to actually reform himself and prove himself that he's a good dude. Like, why 0? Like, why not 3, 5, 7, 10? Because even 10 is like,
Mm-hmm.
it's good. It's 27. You have still the whole life to actually conquer. Why 0?
I say 0 because this kid He doesn't have a reputation of being a bully. He's actually a good kid. You know, he had two jobs. He played sports. He helps out his parents. I could understand if he had a past, and yeah, I would say he should do some time for that. But he's actually a smart, intellectual kid that got caught up in a situation where uh, a white supremacist kid felt comfortable enough to put his hands on him, but he found out that he put his hands on the wrong person, man. Now,
Rush,
man,
Rush, but that's unfair because you can prove it. You can prove that the kid was a white supremacist. You can prove
he a
that he
white
was
supremacist, man.
Rush. You can prove that he was the bully. But you see what
Hmm.
I'm talking about is the there's our dude. You like the same way I like Carmelo. The same way I can prove Carmelo Anthony actually is premeditated murder. He did that shit because like I can prove that the dude was a white supremacist. Maybe it was just a fucking bully, just like a lot of people on the football team do, or on the track team. Like maybe it was just a bully. He thought he was going to get the same rah 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 High School Musical Disney Channel type of A's, and he unfortunately got a Final Destination type of shit. Right? Like, right? Like Rush. Why not 5 years, Rush? Why 7 years? Like Rush, imagine if he gets scot free now. I'm waiting for you to do something to me because now we have a precedent. I don't want people knifing and shooting people just because I put my hands on you. See what I'm saying? It's a massive escalation from 0 to 1,000. Let's do 0 to 100. You have the right to defend yourself. You have the
Right.
right to do something if your wife is cheating on you on your marital bed. I'm not going to give you the death penalty. But you going scot free, I don't think that's good for society. I think 5, 10, 15, we can talk about it because your life is still up. If you're going to either do the chair or nothing, I can agree with both of them. I think those are ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yo, before I interject, let me shout out to the super chats. We got super chats coming in already. Yo, shout out to Sophisticated Jerk for the $10 super chat. Yo, this is a dope collaboration. Yeah, word is born, man. Yo, shout out to SJ, man. We the sucker free team, you heard? Shout out to Sophisticated Jerk again for saying showing support. Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Let me see. Shout out to Chef Chapino. Peace, love, and light. Happy birthday to Red Lipstick Vibe. Salute to the almighty Untouchables. Word is born. Salute, salute, salute. Uh, the New Culture Empire. Salute to you. Thanks for the super chat. We here up one. Yeah, word is born. Word is born. Let me see. Shout out to SD5418. He's been a member on your side, Fatty, for 38 months. Fatty Rush chat. Yeah, salute, salute, salute. Thanks for pulling up. You heard? Let me see. They okay. Hold on. The New Culture Empire again. They called me, and thank you for the $5 super chat. They called me Liddy. Know that I'm with it. Got G's in my unit. No, it's about 50. Word is born. Word is born. Let me see. This the last one. Tell G. Salute to you. Thanks for the $5 super chat. An unfortunate event, both parties. Lessons to be learned. Keep your hands to yourself. That's what I'm talking about, man. If
I,
you would have
I,
kept this hands to let me go ahead, Fatty. Go ahead.
I said I agree. And
Mm-hmm.
friends, please, I'm going to keep dropping a Rush link. Please make sure to go to this side and subscribe. At 1 hour mark, I'm going to close the stream on our side and send everybody to Rush. First thing you do, please go there. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe, and so you can see more collaborations with us and Rush. Okay, but going back to what he said, it was the first thing I said, right? Because it is like I said, a lot of these people that are blatantly racist, they say black people are dangerous and they are chimping out and they are this and they are that. So why are you putting your hands on a black person? Why are you calling a black person the N word? If I saw a lion and people told me that a lion is dangerous, I'm not poking the lion. I'm staying away from the lion as much as I can, right? So I truly believe in the keep your hands to yourself. I just don't believe that if I put my hands on you, you should take a bazooka and just blow up the building. You see what I'm saying? I think there's levels to it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, here's the thing, right? The reason why I know Austin, the racist kid, was a white supremacist because he felt so comfortable not only insulting this young man, but he felt so comfortable that he had the right to put his hands on Carmelo Anthony. And here's the thing, man. That's no different from Jim Crow era where most of the Caucasians felt comfortable bullying the blacks from using certain things in certain locations like the restaurants with the waters. You can't go to certain bathrooms. Um this is what it's leading back to right now. It's kind of like everybody within that side of Texas. They're kind of like on tribalism. That's
But
just my personal.
are you doing the same?
I mean, I don't move in that. I'm not a racist person.
No, no,
You
no.
know.
Are you being tribalist and saying Carmelo Anthony looks just like my nephew? Fuck around and find out. Like, are you being tribalist right now? Like, if that kid was white or Asian, and Metcalf was black, would you still say, hey man, that black kid shouldn't have put the hands on that Chinese kid, motherfucker nuked him? Like, would you still maintain the same position that he should walk scot free?
Yeah. I mean, if he's a good kid and he has no reputation of being a bully. Yeah. 'Cause, people that choose to be aggressive towards they think somebody's not gonna do nothing
Mhm.
should this should this by letting Carmelo Anthony go home. It's gonna send a message out to the world like, hey, you shouldn't feel comfortable putting your hands on somebody that does not look for no problems.
No, it's going to send two messages. It's going
Mm-hmm.
to send the keep your hands to yourself, and it's going to send another message. If you touch me, I can end your life, and there's nothing you actually nobody can do about it. I don't think you are like the. I don't think you understand that by opening that Pandora's box. Now, if there's an incident of road rage, right? And I do the hey Rush, you should not cut me off. Right? And then in Russian, that's my thing. I just want you to be consistent. I believe these people are not consistent at all. Like how many videos I saw in the United States where somebody's driving a car, the guy gets off his car gets off his car to go open the window and start punching the window, and they do pa 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 pa, and everybody's like, "Hey man, fuck around and find out. You shouldn't have left his car." Right? I get it. I just don't understand why people keep flip flopping between one and the other. Just pick a side. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's kind of extreme. You getting out your vehicle to bang on somebody's window. That is a clear message that you're looking for the problem. So if you do get unalived within that process, yeah, you kind of deserve to get unalived doing that. You know.
So let me ask you something. On that
Hmm.
Zimmerman situation, where should Zimmerman be in jail? Hey, put a one in the chat if you believe Zimmerman should be in jail. Put a two in the chat if you believe that he's innocent. On the Zimmerman situation, where he chased Trevor Marty with the Skittles and all that, and he went after the kid, and he ended up him dying and him getting scot free. Put a one in the chat if you think. I don't remember what was the one in the chat. The one was for guilty or for free. The one was for innocent. The two is for guilty. Maybe one for innocent, two for guilty. Do you think, Rush, that he was innocent or he was guilty?
Who? Zimmerman.
Yes.
He's 100% guilty, but he didn't do no time.
And you think the justice failed him, failed the kid?
Yeah, most definitely.
What about Kyle Rittenhauser, the kid that was on the BLM protest, and they chased him, and he said, "I fear for my life," so he shot the people.
I'm not. I don't know anything about
You're
that.
not familiar with that one?
Mm-mm.
Mm, do you think O.J. Simpson was innocent?
Um, I mean, yo, the court says he was innocent, so
No,
yeah,
no,
he
no,
was
no, no, no,
innocent.
no, Rush. I'm asking you. I'm asking you, Rush.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe, Rush, that O.J. Simpson? This is the litmus test to see if you're being tribalist or not. If the glove don't fit, you must acquit. Was O.J. Simpson guilty?
No, and if there was any possibility that he unalived the Caucasian lady, he probably would have paid somebody to do it. You know, but that's kind of reaching.
Was Michael Jackson? I'll give you one more chance, Rush. Was Michael Jackson guilty of any wrongdoing? And you know what I'm talking about.
Uh yeah, I mean, it could be a possibility. Yeah, Hollywood be on some weird stuff.
Your opinion, Rush. If you had to end on the Bible, you decide if this man walk away free or in this. Like, what is Rush's opinion about it? Rush, stop
Uh,
smirking, Rush. Stop smirking. Be serious about it. It's a serious deal.
yo, I would say he was guilty, man.
Hey, we're getting a little bit better. Like, I just want, again, the race issues are so stupid. Like, this is the most stupid. I actually don't know. Like, one of, like, men and women are different. You see what I'm saying? Physically different. They're moved. Like, race issues are one of the stupidest thing that actually happen because it's just a distraction. See what I'm saying? It's just like the LGBT, oh, the trans person going to the bathroom, and you have a trillionaire, and there's no money for homeless, but there's money for wars. But you are going bankrupt and broke and literally losing everything if you miss two paychecks. But these people literally doubling, tripling their like the network in a matter of 2 years. The 1% have more money. Like, see what I'm saying? All of this is a distraction. All of these social issues, this is the new sports. This is the new Coliseum. We're going to put these people that don't like each other fighting. We're going to fill the arena, and everybody going to be distracted while we literally loot the treasury. Is entertaining? Yes. It gets headlines and clicks and all that? Yes. People should be focused on classism more than racism, because you know who is not going to be a problem for the white community?
Hmm.
LeBron James' son.
Yeah, I mean,
LeBron,
that's because LeBron James is in a high socioeconomic status.
yeah,
So
because he's rich.
what affects me is not going to affect LeBron James because he has the money and the notoriety. You
So, but
know?
that's my point, right? When we attribute shit to people, to races or to racial things, we say, like, the white trailer park people and the black people that live in lower social economic status have more in common than the son of Bill Clinton and the son of Barack Obama. Like, see what I'm saying? Black people shouldn't go to white neighborhoods if they make it. They go to the rich neighborhoods that happen to have white people there. See what I'm saying? So most of our problems, if you actually look at what is causing them, is not about race, is usually about social economic opportunities. Some people get a lot of money, so their kids, even though they fuck up, they don't fuck up bad enough to be in the system.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
people
yo,
don't have
listen,
no
listen.
money, so first time they go
Having
to jail and they fuck up.
right, I mean, having a certain dollar amount or whatever tax, if you're in a high level of a tax bracket, yeah, there's a lot of things you kind of could expedite and avoid when you're rich, but a regular person like me, like I gotta deal with a lot of you know uh, systemic racism within this country, man. Now, man.
So it's about money. And we know it's about money. Look at all these rich people being pardoned and shit. See what I'm saying? Like, it's about money.
Right, yeah. I mean, rich kids, and this is why, okay, and this is why I'm a strong believer that not only um Carmelo Carmelo Anthony needs to be exonerated from those charges, but he shouldn't be doing any time because when he comes out, and if this remains within his rap sheet or permanent record or whatever, it's going to be hard for him to engage in the workforce world, you know?
Nah, he's going to. I think he's going to be taken care of, but respectfully, Rush. Like he needs to pay some level of consequence. Him being free at 23 and can't find a job is lucky. There's a problem that most people inside of that prison don't get. And remember, there's a lot of people that did way less, doing way more time than him. That was just on the wrong place, the wrong time, got caught with something that they shouldn't. All that. I believe that there's a level of consequence because he's not okay.
Yo,
Like I
Fatty,
said,
listen,
he's
man.
not
Hey,
okay.
listen. Here's the thing. Hold on. Somebody saying something crazy in the chat. You can't talk to dumbasses like Russ, always the victim, always playing the race card, always thinking blacks do no wrong. Get the F out of here.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what Rush did. Rush is actually setting a precedent. Keep your hands to yourself. If you don't, consequences happen. And I think he was fair across the board. He thinks if a black person does that, like if he was a black person putting their hands on the kid, he was the opposite. Would you say, hey man, scot free? Like let
Yeah.
off it? Would you say the same thing?
Yeah, if the kid that defended himself has a clean record like Carmelo Anthony, yeah, of course.
Yes.
Like you shouldn't put your hands on somebody that's not looking for no kind of trouble, man. And if he was in a section where he wasn't supposed to be in, what gives you the right as a kid to put your hands on him to remove him from that location? The proper thing was for the white supremacist kid that got unalived. He should have went to one of his superiors to get
That's
Carmelo
fair.
Anthony out. And the school failed Carmelo Anthony, man. The school failed Carmelo Anthony. Where were the adults to supervise those kids, man?
No, but that's
Know what I
that's
mean?
fair, right? Because the argument they say is he shouldn't be there. Sure, but nobody should approach him other than a supervisor, a coach, the school director, whatever. Like when somebody's doing something bad in your school, you don't remove him yourself. You call the teacher, you call somebody, and somebody goes there and does their job. So it was a bunch of small compilation of mistakes that actually got the shit out of hand. But like I said, I'm just waiting for the next situation where it's literally the opposite, and a black person unalives a white person because they put their hands on them and the black person decide no, actually the opposite, when the black person starts with the white person and the white person nukes them out of this world. I want to see if people are consistent. I'm going to see if people are going to say self-defense, if people are going to say stand your ground, if people are going to say Florida, Texas, fuck around or find out, or if they're going to change it. Because this situation is only bad in my opinion, Rush, because the Chuck the Builder situation is literally happening right now. And I see people on Monday talking about Carmelo and saying that man should do live in jail or lose his life. And then we ask them about Chuck the Builder, and they're like, nah, self defense. He didn't do nothing. He should be free. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like, what is what? Like,
Listen,
what?
man.
Like,
Check the builder, yo, and he's a bad example though. Like a lot of the situation that he's in now, he was the aggressor. He's the one that put himself in that predicament. That's a horrible example.
no, but that's my point. Is
Mhm.
people will flip flop between self defense and stand their ground depending if they like the person or not. And I don't like that shit. Be consistent. Pick a side. Do people have the right to defend themselves? I have no problem with you believing in that. People shouldn't delete people because they are being physically touched or assaulted. I agree. Just be consistent. The problem is these people will make rules for thee, but then not for me. For the people I don't like, they're going to use every excuse to put him in jail. For the people I like, me, no. Stand your ground. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have went to the store and grab a bottle of water with no money. You saw the situation with the kid and the Asian man that literally got away scot free. That him and his kid chased the black kid outside of the store, and he ended up killing the kid. Like I just want people to be consistent. Either y'all are cowboys or not. That's what y'all told me, fatty. If hey Rush, this is something that they actually taught me on Fight Club, right? Let me actually tell you what
Hmm.
they taught me. I was like, hey friends, this is completely unfair. So if I am roasting you, you can talk about my mom and my dad and my family and my country and all that shit. And they said this to me, Rush. Fatty, when you start shit, you can determine how people decide to finish that shit. When you start something, you can tell people how to end it. And I was like, damn, this is something that Americans taught me. Hey, hey, I'm a very good listener. Now I understand. If I roast you because your head is blue and your shirt is blue, you have all the right to say my mom is a hoe. Okay, let's shake on it. It is what it is. And then other situations happen. I do that and I say yes because you don't know your mother. And they're like, fatty, we can be talking about mothers. That's unfair. Just be consistent with what you tell me, and I will okay. Most of these people, unfortunately, they have no standards. They have no ideals. They will go and make up as long as they have the final, the final verdict actually is good for them. So, uh, like I said, I'm waiting for people to be consistent, and I don't think people are going to be consistent at all.
I mean, like, listen, man. People are saying like, we shouldn't make this a race thing, but the whole thing is about racism. Uh, for the and then my bad for sounding kind of redundant, but it's like everybody's kind of like overlooking that this white supremacist kid felt so comfortable to put his hands on another individual that's black. Like, obviously that stems from being raised from racist parents. Look at what his father said to the public. Insinuating that this kid loves watermelon and he's a watermelon felon. Like,
Yes.
isn't that a level of white supremacy right there?
No, no, no.
Like,
No. There's definitely some racial undertones that because you could literally say anything about that family and you chose race. See what I'm saying? It's like
well, let me revise that statement. Isn't that a clear uh, distinction that Austin's father is a racist along with his mom's? You know what I mean? By him saying that comment to the public.
no, no.
What what what
I
what's
agree.
what's
No,
what's to stop him from being a white supremacist? That's a part of their culture to view black folks in that degree. You know what I mean?
sure, but the thing is, that's not how law works. You have to prove it. And if there's a videotape, like we can do educated assessments just like they do to us, right? If there's a
Hmm.
tape saying, "Hey, Jeff Metcalf to his son, hey son, if you see a black person, just go ahead and Hey, we shake on it, rush that man scot free tomorrow. This is racially motivated. It's clear because A plus, like I said, I'm saying, and this situation, it's unfair for me to just go ahead and put the blame on him and then turn around and say like it's unfair for me to make assessments and opinions about what the white kid is, but then if they do the same thing with the black kid, oh, he's a thug, why is he carrying a knife? See, this is what the black people do. They get on their feelings and they chimp out. Like I think it will be unfair for them to do the same thing, so I don't do that to him too.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think in America there is a at least a level of systemic racism within our court system?
Sure, the sentences for same crimes can prove it. The rates of stop and frisk can prove it. Like, yes, absolutely. It's not something that he says. It's a worldwide thing for the most part. I believe. I just don't want to. Uh, I just don't want this case to be one of those situations because, for my understanding, there was no racial undertones involved until the parents and the families and the content creators started to actually push that shit. Like there was no Carmelo Anthony said, "Get the fuck away from me, white boy," and then the kid, the white dude, boy, y'all are the boys. Like I said, I'm saying there's
Right.
nothing there's nothing until that time to actually prove that the situation was racially motivated. The people that are saying that it was not have no proof. The people that are saying yes it is have no proof too. So I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, like, listen, man, like, in America, man, this, you listen, people within the urban community are not treated fairly within the court system, and, and this is a clear example, by the Asian guy, you know, unaliving a young kid. The kid proved that he had nothing in his pockets, and he left the store, whatever.
Hmm?
The Asian guy followed this kid and unalived him. After he showed him that he didn't
On
take anything. You know,
on that
and
one, I
he's not
actually,
doing no time, fatty. He's not doing no time, man. You
but Rush,
know,
on that one, I 100% agree with you,
yeah.
especially because so you chase everybody that goes inside of your store and doesn't buy nothing, and we
No,
know,
just the
hey,
black ones.
and Rush, we don't have the hurry up and buy here in Portugal, right? We don't have hurry up and buy, right? What do they say? Like in the United States, hurry up and buy. Like when
Right,
the,
right.
the thing is, we don't have it. But if you go to any Asian establishment, if you're a black person getting inside of the store, you're going to be the CCTV will be connected to the back of your head. You see what I'm saying? So on that one, I actually understand the racially like why would you chase him of all the kids, all the people that come to your store? You understand why? Like just why did George Zimmerman literally went after Trevor Marty? You kind of understand why. On this situation, I don't think so because once again, it's not that I don't think so. I don't have no proof because this was a track meet. White people run, black people run. They are kids, are in the same environment. It's something that is way more organic than whatever these situations happen on gas stations or convenience stores, Chinese stores, all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I'm not gonna say it's unfortunate that Carmelo Anthony defending himself by the white supremacist kid. But it's unfortunate that
You
you
keep saying
know
that shit. You keep saying that.
yeah, I'm making a statement, man. Yo,
You keep
those
sneaking in the white supremacists. Oh, the
yo,
white
he's a
supremacists.
white supremacist, man. For
I
him
don't know about
to
that, right?
yeah, man, he a white supremacist, man. The judge over there in Texas, all of them. They all white supremacists, man. They all in cahoots. You know what I mean? They edit the video, you know what I mean? They only put out certain footages out just to paint an image that not they're trying to make it seem like it was a real light situation. It wasn't a light situation, man. Those kids, those multiple kids that went after um Carmelo Anthony as the as the aggressor, jumping them, you know, like like yo, he had every right to stand his ground to defend himself, man. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie, man. It's not an unfortunate situation that the kid got unalive, man. Matter of fact, this sends out a message to the world, man. Like, yo, you can't put your hands on anybody, and don't think that you're not gonna face the consequences by disrespecting another man. You know what I mean?
Mm, I don't know. I don't know, Rush. Like I said, I get what you're saying. I'm just not sure about it. Like I like people to present a level of evidence that is like I can go to sleep with my conscience. Like, see what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be on the situation where you are convicting people based on assumptions, or you put injections on people based on assumptions, right?
Okay,
So
so wait a minute, wait a minute, hold on. So about what? How many kids? How many white kids surrounded Carmelo Anthony? How many?
technically, he was already surrounded because he was on a visitor stand.
Well, I'm gonna use the number
It's not that
seven.
the kid. It's not
I'm
that
gonna
the
use
kid
number seven.
surrounded him. He was kind of
Seven
surrounded
white.
from the beginning.
Listen. Seven white
You
kids.
see what you're doing, Rush? I see what you're doing.
Yo, I'm not doing nothing, man. Seven white kids surrounding this young man. You know, you know,
No,
and
he was already surrounded. He was on a
and
on a
using
opposite end.
and using verbiage like, "Hey, get out my tent, bitch." Like, does this young black kid have the? Yeah, like you're telling me this young black kid does not have the right to have some sort of dignity, man?
Yes. So let's do this. Right,
You
Rush.
know,
Right, Rush. Rush.
right,
Rush is on the first Untouchable meeting, right? 2028. The Untouchables are an international brand. So we decide to do a meeting in, I don't know, whatever. Oh, let's go with Texas. Exactly the same. We're going to Houston, right? And
right.
somebody that is on his chat says, "Man, hey Rush, remember when you said that Metcalf was a white supremacist, nigga?" Right? And he put his hands on you. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. He puts his hands on you like, bah! He puts his hands on you, bah! On your shoulder, bah! Bitch. Rush. Now we are going to escalate the situation, Rush. A punch. Is it too much? You punch him
Well,
back. Is it too much? You punch him back. Is it too much?
I'm defending myself. I have the
I
right to
I
defend
I,
myself.
I agree. Now a elbow, like a ah. Is that too much?
Nah, man. Whenever you put your hands on another grown man, there's no rules to that.
What
And
about
anything,
what
there's
about
any
the rock?
possibility, anything's possible when you put your hands on another man. Like,
Yeah. But let's
yeah.
escalate it slowly. What about a rock? You grab a rock, ah. Is that okay?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it. So, I mean, obviously,
Rush, he called you a bitch. Rush, fight back. You grab a rock, and you like bah. Is that fair? Is that fine?
listen, man. Yo, that kid got the right to defend himself, man. There was more than one person. I
I
mean, he got
agree with
jumped.
you, Rush. I
You know
agree,
what I'm
but
saying?
what level
So,
of
so,
defense
so,
is the rock? Is the rock okay?
so if you're 130 pounds, right? This kid is about 220.
Hmm.
He got some size on him, 6 foot. And the rest of the white supremacist friends surround him. Yo, you're gonna grab something to defend yourself, man.
Sure, Rush, but that's my point. I want to see where
I
the
listen, man. I wouldn't be surprised that his father's a part of the KKK, man. You know what I mean?
but Rush.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is, and this is the tribalist shit is like you are doing the version of the, oh, look at them chimping out. Oh, he probably didn't know his daddy. Oh, like his assumptions. We have no idea if he actually did it or not. We just kind of have a conclusion and we're walking backwards to see what actually fits our narrative. I'm going to be honest, most of these people that are reviewing Carmelo Anthony have an agenda. This is monetary reasons actually to do it. It's not that they actually fuck with the kid. It's not that they actually think the kid is guilty. It's not that they think he's innocent. They are doing it to push a certain type of agenda because they know this is a very emotionally charged situation that is going to rile people up, right? So why not just stick with the facts and the things that we know for sure on a diabolical situation instead of saying, "Hey man, maybe it was a part of the KKK." Like, come on, right? Come on, right? You need to chill, man. You can't be doing that.
Nah, man. Listen, man. Man. I'm telling you, man. Like, yo, he's a white supremacist, and his father is probably, connected with the KKK. That's
That's
not like
great.
that's
Why,
not
why,
something far fetched, man. Know what I
why
mean?
not? Why not the neo Yazis? Why not the Aryan? Why not the Proud Boys? Why the KKK?
Because of the comment that he put out to the public, man. The watermelon felon,
Yeah, but
man.
you know it's funny, Rush. You know
Mm-hmm.
why I truly like full blown racist? Like people that are full blown racist, the Asian racist dude, the white racist dude, the black. I like because I can see it and I can judge you for that. You know what the watermelon and all these things is? This is a white boy on a Call of Duty lobby trying to insult your mama and your family because he got his ass whooped. It's like a so low level of racism that I don't even consider this like something that is like KKK is the NBA of racism, right? It's like the right. It's the Microsoft, is the Tesla of racism, right? I think a lot of times when people are hurt, they're going to say things to hurt you. Was that very disrespectful and, in my opinion, kind of fucked up after what happened? Yes. I think like bringing and doing these insults actually doesn't help your kid case at all. It actually helps other people seeing, see, this is what he thought all along about us because we didn't do nothing. So why is he doing these racial remarks about it? But for the most part, Rush, like I said, man, we need to be responsible, man. And a lot of times all these people that are on the chats doing racist shit and racist stuff, they are one black friend, they are one white friend away from changing their mind completely because they are insulated. They don't know nobody cool that doesn't look like them, right? Like Asians are very racist until Kobe Bryant pulls up, until the Jabberwockies pulled up, and all of a sudden they're playing basketball and doing breakdance. You need to you need to let people commit mistakes. I don't like the Minority Report shit. Maybe it's a part of the KKK. Was it bad? Yes. I don't think there's a level of. I don't want to put uh, a white cloth on him from people that probably are one of the most detested people all around the world. I don't.
Well, let me tell you why my perspective is that, there's a lot of rumors going around saying that uh, uh Austin Metcalf is related to the warden of the prison that uh uh Carmelo Anthony is locked up in. On top of that, I'm hearing that they're in cahoots with the judge out there. You don't think that's some level of white supremacy?
You have to prove it.
Mind you, the KKK is not like back in the Jim Crow era. Like they're your modern day
No, I
law
know.
enforcement officer, your judge, your lawyer.
Yes.
They're not out in the open like that with it no more. Know what I'm
So
saying?
what? So Rush, but that's the thing. I
Yeah.
believe, like where smoke is fire, right? We
Mm-hmm.
understand that the system a lot of times for black people is guilty until proven innocent. It's not a fair system, right? But there's the thing. You have to prove it. Just like I would ask for a white person, if somebody came here and says, hey, Fed is racist. Okay, you are going to have to prove it. Because I'm not going to defend myself. You are going to actually come to
Well,
me and tell me what I did to make me
let me
racist.
tell you. Let me tell you why this is motivated by race.
And Rush, but let me stop you
Ah,
for a
go ahead,
second.
go ahead,
Hey,
go ahead.
no, because
Yeah.
this is a great placeholder for us to end the stream on my side, friends. I have a redirect for Rush show. Okay, Rush is going to explain exactly what these white supremacists are doing to this kid. So I'm going to close the stream right now. Thank you very much, Thomas, for being the sponsor of the show. We're going to read the super chats on the Rush side and open the panel if y'all want to say something to me or Rush. Okay, so I'm going to close it right now. Only thing you have to do is click on the link that is going to show up top. There's 90 people on the chat, so come here on Rush side and let's continue the conversation. And if you could get us to the goals, I need $50 on my Cash App for the hamburger fund. So please, if you have $5 to spare, help this bag in person. Okay. Thank you very much, Untouchables. I see you on Rush side. Signing out right now. Go ahead, Rush. Tell me, Rush. What's going on with you? Like, what do you believe that actually happened
Yo, give me a sec. I see on your end people send super chat. So you want me to answer the question first, then
there? No,
do
no.
super
You
chat? Or...
answer the question first. It's totally fine because they are going to come over here. They're going to come to this
Okay.
side. I already closed
Okay.
it.
All right. Okay. by the lawyers and judges all in cahoots, that is a level of white supremacy. Like I said before, the KKK is not like the Jim Crow era days. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are very discreet with it. They're not overt with it. You know what I mean? So it could be your modern day police officer, your judge, your corrections officer. All of them work together in cahoots in situations like this. For example, right? Carmelo Anthony got hit for 35 years for defending himself. The Asian guy that unalived the black kid does no time. That is a message that they're sending out to the world that, hey, listen, man, you mess with one of us, you're gonna reap the repercussions that comes with that. You know what I mean? And I think with this situation right here, this gonna set out a message to people where you shouldn't feel comfortable putting your hands on another man. With this new generation coming up, man, I'm sorry to say, man, these kids respect nothing, man. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that we respect is this level of violence. Know what I mean?
Absolutely, but there's the thing. What is the level of violence that you are comfortable with? Because I'm not like, what is like, there has to be a limit. There has to be a place where people say, you know what? We stop right here. Right here is fair. Right? For example, if me and you, Rush, are fighting and you start some shit, right, Rush?
Mm-hmm.
You started some shit. And I knock you out and your head hits the floor and you are unconscious. And I'm like, hey friends, I'm from Portugal, man. I'm a soccer fan. And I go for the kick, the famous punt when you are on the floor. I believe that we all kind of agree, hey man, this kind of fucked up. You already won the fight. This person is on the floor unconscious. You can just go ahead and do American X history on the motherfucker. Put his head on the pavement, on the thingy, and step on it. Like, you can be doing that shit, right? There's a level of savagery that is against societal norms that we have. It's dangerous for you and for the people that you love, because what people do to others, sometimes it comes back around. What is the limit, Rush? Like, for you, what will be the limit of a circumstance where you say, you know what, this is definitely too much? Like, you punch me, what can I do to you where you say, yeah, Ferry did too much, like I can defend this? Like, what will be the level of aggression that I had to show for you to come to my side and to say, you know what, Ferry should go to jail?
Okay. Okay. What's the limit to defending yourself? Is that what you're
So,
asking me?
so I need to know if there's a limit. You were minding your business. I come in and I punched you, right? You
Mm-hmm.
are going to retaliate and defend yourself. What is the level of retaliation that you can say, yeah, that's kind of fucked up, you shouldn't have done that shit? I punch you, a baseball bat, a knife, a gun, the
Listen, man.
spirit
I,
bomb.
I
Like,
feel like, yo, if somebody is the aggressor
hmm?
and that's bullying somebody, like, you deserve what's coming to you. Now, what's too much? Okay, shooting the person. Yeah, I guess that's a bit extreme. If somebody punches you, you shoot them. But by law, that's like, okay, like for example, in the state of New Jersey, right? You can't use your firearm on somebody else unless you're in imminent danger
Hmm.
with a weapon that's able to cause any form of bodily harm. Know what I mean? That's within the state of New Jersey. Know what I mean?
So
So
you
yeah, like,
so you would be, so knives for you is okay, guns is too much.
right.
What about the baseball bat?
Yo, that's a bit much too, man.
But there's my point, right? Like, Rush, but there's a thing.
No,
Uh,
I mean, yo, I mean that
no,
it depends on the circumstances, man. Like,
no, no, no.
if there's seven big kids, right, and you're 130 pounds, your state of mind is, yo, self-preservation. So at that given moment, you're gonna do whatever it takes to remain alive. So let me ask you a question, right? If he didn't defend himself, he didn't have the knife, right? And those kids jumped him and beat him to a bloody pulp, and he ended up dying. Like, come on, like
So
that
no,
in that in that
No, but that's my point.
circumstances, that gives him the right to use that utility knife.
No, Rush, I'm very fair. If
Mhm.
we find the zoom in version, right? If we find the zoom in version of him being jumped, walk away free. If we find Metcalf shove him, somebody and somebody that I believe you are now in fear for your life, you are being jumped, you have to defend yourself. Do you see how I changed my opinion based on circumstances? And the same thing with Carmelo. If Carmelo stabs him once, I'm like, you know what? There's an emotional response to somebody being pushed and physically touched. If Carmelo does the what is the name of the guy on a scary movie? Ghostface Killer.
Uh,
It's
I don't.
Ghostface Killer. It's
Yeah,
Ghostface
yeah,
Killer.
Ghostface Killer. Yeah.
He goes full Ghostface Killer, and now instead of one, there's 7 of those. You have to actually do time. I will change my opinion based on the evidence that I got. Why can't you do the same? A baseball bat is too much. Why? A knife can cause probably more damage than a baseball bat. A baseball bat will break your arm. It's easier to catch a baseball bat, like stop it from actually hitting your head, which is probably the most important part. Like, why would you? See what I'm saying? Why would you yourself think that is okay for me to knife somebody in self-defense, but the baseball bat is too much?
I mean, because there's multiple people. There's multiple white supremacist kids that's getting ready to jump. Well, that jumped Carmelo Anthony, so he had the right to use that utility knife to protect himself because he possibly couldn't make it home after that if he didn't defend himself with the knife.
Rush, you have to prove that, Rush.
That what the multiple? I mean, it's on tape.
Like, you have to prove it. That's my point. And the same way that like people have to prove shit.
I mean, here are the facts, and you could put everything together. 7 white kids jumping a black kid. That is indirectly telling you that they are white supremacists from
But
right
they
there.
did. But can you prove that you got jumped?
It's on tape.
No, it's not. Hey, Rush. You know what you're doing, Rush? Rush.
What?
That video that they released proves nothing. What's up, Norman? That video doesn't prove nothing. That video literally proves nothing from both sides. Both sides were like, see, oh, look at him running. See, look at the people. Like, that video doesn't prove nothing. You can't prove that he was jumped. What's up, Jerk? You can't prove it. But you see what I'm saying? But in my opinion, you can prove too that that was a premeditated killing. You can prove that that man got out of the house and he's like, I can't wait for somebody to come at me so I can, right? Why are we making so many assumptions, Rush? Because it's
Listen, man.
fun. Because it's fun. I know. Because it's fun.
Yeah, shout out to SJ in the building, Sucker Free Team. Yeah, I mean, you already know. And shout out to Norman. And like, you want to put your 2-piece into it so we can chop it up with Fatty?
Yeah. I want to throw something in here, man, because this is ridiculous, man. We had like none of us went to high school and fought before or had squabbles or just had disagreements, right? I had actually had a kid that wanted to stab me in high school because we used to pick on him every day because he's overweight and he used to sneak food and eating in the class and stuff like that. So eventually he brought a knife to school and he got caught with it because he wanted to stab up a couple people, right? I'm gonna bring it away from this situation here in North Carolina in Charlotte. We have 2 stories recently of fathers getting, one got shot and killed, another father actually got shot and survived. And the survival one, basically in both situations, it was defending their daughters. There's a clear as day video of this particular shooting where the father is coming outside, his daughter's outside, the young boy that just, I guess, was beating on her or whatever. The father, he didn't touch the kid at all. He just was approaching the kid. The kid pull out a gun and shoot him point blank range. Now, when we think about the Carmelo situation, the only thing that's different in that situation is that you're talking about a gun and you talk about a knife. But for some reason, that story that happened local here, I don't hear nobody talking about that. But it's a clear example of the same thing. So the Austin kid, what he was accused of is getting him down into a 4-point stance or a football stance and charging at the kid. And then he pulled the knife out, and people have arguments about he fell on the knife and all this other mess. It's the same thing. So for us to sit up here and honestly, as a black man, I'm actually embarrassed that we sit around and try to make all these excuses on why this happened and he's getting bullied. Like, we don't even have y'all be seeing kids get jumped before. We used to jump kids, right? And you fight what you fight, you go home and it is what it is. Or if something comes out of it, somebody get hurt, there's consequences from it. What are y'all not getting from that?
Well, I mean,
this is insane.
Let me
sound like
let me interject real quick. Let me interject real quick. This kid wasn't raised in that kind of environment where, you jump me, I come back with several of my guys and I jump you back. He's not raised like that. He's a good kid, never got into a fight. He minds his business. He works 2 jobs. Clearly, he's a good kid, man. You know?
How you know how that boy was raised? You know what? I said, how do you know how that boy was raised?
Because it's clearly evident that he's never been.
One thing I do.
He's never been in trouble before.
You know one thing I do know. One thing I do know how about he's being raised, and I haven't been keeping up with all the different intricacies. His parents, he was with his mother and he's with his stepfather. Where was his father to teach him discipline and actually understand the rules of engagement? If you want to be about it, you got to take whatever comes with it. If you don't want to, if you want to go about your business so you don't have to deal with any consequences, it's called walking away. Your father is supposed to teach you discipline. So what that tells me, and what it tells me a lot about all the black men that sit around and try to excuse this shit, is that y'all was raised by single mothers. And y'all trying to make sense out of this thing from an emotional standpoint. This is rules of engagement from a logical. This is rules of engagement from a logical standpoint. I always knew if I was going to go do something, I got to be about the action. If I'm going to pull out a gun, I got to know where everything's going to come with it. If I'm going to pull out a knife, I got to be where everything that comes with it. We got to sit here and stop excusing the BS. You can't do certain things and then you're just going to get off scot-free because the way you feel.
They did it for the Asian man. Why not for him?
That's not my problem. My problem is I gotta get home.
No, it is your problem. It is your problem. It's not my problem. If your kid is defending himself from a white supremacist, he's gonna fall in. He's gonna fall in the same lines of the situation as Carmelo Anthony.
Rush. What you don't realize is in this world, in this life that we call life, the only thing I can't control your actions. I can't control fatty actions. Sophisticated jerk. I want you to get in.
Respectfully, you sound like a house ninja, man. You sound like a house ninja, man.
Hey, listen, see when you go to name calling and not having a conversation.
I say you sound like. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying the verbiage that you're using, right? You're right now. What this? Listen.
Housefield Sky, whatever. I came from Baltimore, Maryland. I came out the hood. And I live good now.
Not every kid is. Not every kid is.
You can call me whatever you want to call me.
Not every black kid comes from an environment like that, man.
But the fact of the matter is that when you wake up in the morning, the only thing that you can control is your actions. I can't control your actions. I can't control fatty action. I can't control sophisticated jerk actions. So every day I wake up, I make sure I put myself in position to win. I come from the hood. My brother did a 15-year bid. I had to learn from seeing other people making mistakes. So I had to I took the other path. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop with the excuses. Because listen, if you want to talk about the law, a lot of it comes down to money. Maybe that Asian guy had a little bit better backing to get him out of that court case. That happened in South Carolina. I used to live in South Carolina. So I know how they operate in South Carolina. But it's my job as a man to make sure I put myself in a position and not be affected by outside forces. You cannot make yourself susceptible to something and then try to control the actions of it. It's too late. You can call me a house nigga after that. Go ahead, proceed.
Rush, you on mute?
He don't even know technology. He probably thought it was a cameraman out there, like the silly Negro that was on the channel last week or this week. This up week talking about somebody's moving the camera. Don't even know how video editing software work. How about this? How about y'all go get y'all money up, go get your thought game up, go read some. Y'all like to read books, read some books, stay out the way, learn how the system works, learn how to game the system so you can win and stop complaining. You talking about white supremacists? Every time a black person fight a white person, is he a black supremacist?
What you're saying? You're saying that this young black kid has no right to have some sort of dignity by you saying that. I mean, like, he has the right to be assertive and not leave because a white supremacist kid told him to get out the way. You know what I mean?
But Rush, man, you don't think like to a certain degree that your messaging could put kids in like trouble, for example, like Carmelo Anthony, man, like by him doing what he did, he's getting all them years now. So you don't think, because I kind of agree with Norman, man, like, go ahead and do a one-on-one fist fight, whatever. And if you lose, you lose, but at least you walk it away from that situation, not with no years.
But I'm saying, man, he not raised like that. He don't come from like his father, his parents didn't raise him in a aggressive environment where he has that kind of mentality. He's not raised like that. So he's going to be scared dealing with, 7 white supremacist kids that's in the football team, man.
But Rush, like they fight in the suburbs because, man, like I come from a background kind of like Norman, but I my son grew up, he's 25 now.
Those white supremacist kids, those were the aggressors. Anthony was not the aggressor. But go ahead, sophisticated jerk.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, man, they fight in the suburbs too. So pretty much at any high school, you got some teenagers. There's fights, and majority of fights don't end up in this situation. So that's what I'm saying. You don't think like kids should just fight it out if they go to that thing versus like kind of what you're prescribing or something like that?
Listen, man, the kid, he's not a fighter, man. You know what I mean? He's not a fighter, but he has.
But you think most kids are fighters, though, Rush?
Nah,
most kids ain't fighters, and they'll have that fight.
Kid,
that's what I'm saying.
He's not raised like that, man.
Rush,
listen, man, not every black kid, is raised in the ghetto to be aggressive, man. That's the shit you niggas not getting, man.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever taken any form of martial arts in your life? Have you done anything like taekwondo, judo, even thing monitoring like Krav Maga?
Get to the point with what you're trying to.
You know what you learn. You learn in martial arts.
Man, what you trying to say, man?
I'm asking you a question. Have you it's a yes or no? Oh, so you haven't. All right. So one of the things you learn when you actually learn any of those arts, and actually when you learn the first thing you learn when you learn judo, you learn the judo roll. It's actually an escape move. Every martial arts that you take, the one thing they teach you is that, okay, listen, I'm about to teach you how to actually defend we want to turn you into a weapon. But the first thing you learn is defensive moves. You learn things, it's not even about even moving your body. It's actually giving eye contact, letting people know that, yo, I see you. So they basically don't take you for somebody that's gullible and not paying attention. It teaches you how to walk in public. It's all about you stopping violence before it happens. If you telling me I'm scared and the first thing I resort to is violence and not removing myself, you's a fool is what I'm trying to tell you. Like if you even Krav Maga, the whole art form is based off of self-defense and creating mass confusion in close combat. You cannot excuse this kid's actions because he wasn't brought up a certain way. It is what it is. We live in a world where
let me ask you a question.
you gotta suffer the
that white
consequences.
supremacist kid that. Let me ask you a question. That white supremacist that stepped to Anthony. You're saying that it's okay for the white boy to oppress Carmelo Anthony? Is that what you're saying? Because you're not even recognized that Austin was the bully. He was the aggressor.
It don't listen, but that's the thing, Rush. That's what I'm trying to get to y'all, right? We seen fights occur, and typically as a fight, sometimes it's mutual, like combat. Everybody want to run up on each other. Sometimes if somebody run up on somebody that don't necessarily expect it, that don't make them an oppressor. It makes them the aggressive person in that situation. And obviously, because you got your hand on a knife already, there was some level of aggression from your end as well. And what I will say is that everything that takes place after that, even though it's a split second, you got to take what comes with it after the fact. If I'm choosing to put my hand in my bag, because essentially what was going on as the boy was charging, he had his hand in his bag already and told him, like, touch me, you're going to see you're going to figure it out type thing. FO or whatever. That's already a level of the aggression. Like, I'm ready to do something. We can't walk away from that. Now, if you really didn't want no problems, right?
That's not aggression. That's defending yourself.
If you really don't want no problems in that situation, you will walk away. You'd be like, you know what, bro? I'm good. Like, I'm good on that. And I'll fight you another day. Maybe I catch you it's the internet age. Like, I can hit you up on the DM. Like, look, let's meet somewhere.
Go ahead. Quick question. Should Zimmerman be in jail right now?
I think, to be honest with you, that happened so long ago. I forget all the details, but I think he should be charged.
I'll remind you quickly. It was in a convenience store. Zimmerman thought he stole some Skittles and some soda. He called the cops. The 911 said, don't engage. Stay over there. We're coming. He chased the kid. The kid was afraid because he was chased, I don't know how many yards. He started fighting the dude because he was chased. Zimmerman pulled the gun and killed him. Do you think he should be in jail right now?
He should have got charged with something. I remember at the time I was like, he should at least get manslaughter. Like,
if you were the judge, the king, whatever, like, would he be in jail right now? This was 10 years ago.
At the end of the day, it comes down to, innocent to proven guilty. If you want to tell in the court of law, like, you talking about making me king and just making me.
Yeah, you are the king. You are King Joffrey. You have the power to literally do the thumbs up or thumbs down. Would he be in jail right now?
Personally, I would need to know more intricate details of that to make that decision on my own. To be honest with you, and that's not me trying to be facetious. That's just me.
I accept that.
I don't remember the case like that.
I accept that.
Fatty, can I answer your question?
Sure.
Yeah, I think Zimmerman definitely should be in jail because, like you said, when he called the cops and they said disengage. The fact that he kept on following them, that showed that he didn't really have a level of fear and, he disregarded authority. So, yeah, I think he should be in jail.
So, Jerk, but that's my thing, right? And my problem, once again, is not with what she's saying. I just want people to be consistent with their opinions. Like, stick on the side. This becomes confusing because, let's be honest, right? If my kid has a bully, hey, he bullying you. Do you have a stone? Do you have a stick? Go back there. You got this. Right? And I think it's most parents. But that's the thing. You are going to give this advice, and these kids, because they are not grown-ups, are going to make mistakes. My daddy told me to defend myself. My daddy said to stand to a bully. So I did what I have to do. That's the thing. There's the levels of it. I believe, once again, that everybody should keep their hands to yourself. Bad things happen when you put your hands on people, period. Everybody agrees with that shit. Bad things happen when a conversation or some insults start to become physical. When you put your hands on somebody, something bad is going to happen to you. But that's the thing. I don't think that kid deserves to die.
I agree with you.
Right?
No, like,
I think something should happen to him.
Yeah.
I think something should happen definitely to him, right? But I don't believe that kid should perish because of the situation. I believe, once again, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say real quick, like to your point, right? If it was just a fight, but it happened off outside of school, but on the school grounds, but I would thought what it would came out of that, it just ended up in the fight. Both of them would have got a out of school suspension, maybe for a week or two or something like that. I don't know their previous school records, essentially, but that would have been the consequence. I guess that's my point, right? Like there's consequences to your actions no matter what. Even if you make a bad decision that ends up really bad.
But
you know what I mean? That's just like when you go.
But that contradicts your point.
No, like no, I'm saying
think about what you said. Once you do something, consequences would happen. Couldn't I say that about the white kid? Once you do that, something is going to happen to you.
Yes. I'm fatty. I agree. Like the moment that you become an aggressor, right? You gotta know that something may come with it. What I'm saying is the moment that you actually respond to the aggression in a certain type of way, you gotta take what comes with that as well. It's not an either or. Like if for example, somebody tries to fight me and I pull out a gun, like they just running up on me and I shoot them. Like I know that I'm like once I put my hand. Listen, if you're gonna pull something out like that, if you're gonna pull a weapon out, you need to be ready to use it. You need to be ready whatever it comes with it. Now, if you gotta sit in the face of court of law and get judged by 12 or whatever, you gotta take what comes with it. I'm just saying, like in life in general, it's no scenario where I'm escaping myself out of the consequences that I make. Even if I make a mistake, like I gotta take what comes with it.
That's fair. Like, are you familiar with this situation with Chud the Builder? You're familiar with it, right? Because it's recent, right?
Yeah, I seen to be honest with you, Fatty, man, like I see these things in passing and like I hear it and I'm like, I know he shot himself or whatever. He been provoking people or whatnot. I don't know if the guy go ahead.
He shot the dude, he actually shot his gun 6 times and then he shot himself, right? Like, for example, in a situation like that, he provoked, there was a reaction, and then he took his gun because he was getting his ass whooped and he shot the dude. Like in a situation like that, would you practice the same thing that you're saying? Do you think he should walk scot-free? Do you think he should do some time? Like, what do you?
I think the moment that you pull out a deadly weapon, anything that comes from it, you got to stand in front of it like a man. If it means you got to go to court and fight your way up out of that because you felt like you was defending yourself, then it is what it is. It's like, I guess to me, like my mindset don't go to what should happen, right? It is what's going to happen. Like I know the moment that I do that, I'm gonna have to go I gotta face some people about this shit. And I gotta go do that. So it's not about art. I don't have a mind of art. I've gone through life like this and I've been able to actually make good decisions because of this. Like I don't think about what should happen. I'm thinking out when I do this, what's going to happen, and then what I'm gonna have to do to make sure that I put myself in a better position afterwards. This art. This feeling situation or like what you
Norman, you are literally do the art because since you got here, you said he should martial arts, he should do this, he should do that.
I said in martial arts. No, I didn't say should. I said martial arts. When martial arts teach you, your first line of attack is defense. So I didn't say what ought to do. I said the first move you learn in judo, you know what you do before you even get a belt? You roll around a judo gym and you just do that. You do that for months. They don't teach you how to kick, punch, or do anything else. They teach you an escape move.
But Norman, what Fatty's trying to do is check the consistency because, if we're taking a stance on, we're saying like, Carmelo should have just fought hand in hand. He's
right.
Yeah, but I'm saying when he's giving you these scenarios, it shows consistent. There should be a level of consistency between all of that.
I'm saying at the end of the day, as men, we are men, not women. Men, we know that when we do something, there is something that is another reaction to it, and we got to deal with it, no matter the way we feel. I've escaped this feeling thing a long time ago. There's things.
So you should agree with Carmelo.
What's that?
So you should agree with Carmelo. You should say, "Hey, no. I understand." Actions. 1 second. Because 1 second. Well, 1 second. Because think about it, right? You actually passed judgment. Because these people being raised by single moms. Like no. Or you didn't pass judgment.
I made an analysis of this. I said the fact that he had his hand, he brought a knife to a fist fight. That tells me that you have a lot of feminine influence.
Isn't that the passing judgment?
Emotional. if you think about
isn't that passing judgment?
That is Pat. That's this analysis.
So but
like
Norman, you are not being consistent at all.
Most of the people you know that's in jail, most of the people that you know in jail, what did they make a decision out of what? Out of emotion.
Emotion. Am I right or wrong? I agree. 100%.
All right, cool. So where do emotion come from? When you, as a man, when you lean into it.
No, Norman, but that's the point. You're being inconsistent. That kid has that kid at the dead.
Inconsistent is an analysis.
Norman, listen to Norman. If you listen to your own words, you are literally all over the place.
I'm not.
You are attributing something. You see, interrupting me when I didn't land is feminine.
Right. You're not going to walk me down. Like,
can you refrain yourself from cutting me off, Norman?
I'm saying in the art of combat,
I know what you're saying, Norman. I'm just saying
whatever happened on both sides, you got to take the consequences out of it. What I said, Norman, yes, by him having his hand on a knife. Yes, I did make a diagnosis in that situation. I do see that prevalently in our culture, that we are heavily influenced by feminine nature.
But why did you say that when that man has a daddy and a mommy? No, this is the problem, right, Norman? That kid, this is very feminine. Is you not letting me finish a point when you know that you actually fucked up? Respectfully,
because you can't.
You don't have to open your mouth when I pause to breathe, right? You are contradicting yourself. This kid has no pre-existing felonies, no history of being emotional. He has a daddy in his house, and you are passing judgment based on something that is not true. There's no one. Let me finish. Like I said, just because I fucking breathe doesn't mean that you have to talk. That's what a bitch does, right? A woman, a man that is raised by a bitch, right? That's what they do. Is every time I say something, but what about you? Can you stop talking? What I'm saying is, you are all over the place. You are passing judgment while saying we shouldn't. You are saying I'm not about ought and should, when since you got here, all the things you said is this should happen. This is what should happen. This should be his reaction. This is what should be. And finally,
I never said should.
And finally,
when did I say something should happen? What I said should happen.
You said that he overreacted by putting the hand on his bag, that he shouldn't have done that, because once you do that shit, consequences is going to happen. Your position should be this. Listen carefully. This is your position, okay? You said this. When people do things, consequences happen. This is your statement. It's not fairy statement. It's not rush. It's not jerk. If your statement is, when you do things to people, bad things happen to you back, shouldn't you be siding with Carmelo and saying, I don't agree, but I totally understand? Because once you do things to other people, once I put my hands on Norman, I have no idea what Norman has on his holster. I have no idea if Norman had a bad day. Bad things will happen to Ferry. Shouldn't you actually be understandable? Because that's your point. Go ahead.
My point is that the moment, like, so you can do whatever you want to do. If you feel threatened, right? You have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do. What I'm saying is the moment that you decide to do that, you're going to have to take what comes with it when you start bringing weapons into the situation, right? I didn't say that I didn't feel for the boy. I don't know what the dynamics of the situation. If anything, I think both of them was taunting each other, right? But but the moment that Austin charged, they said that this is the little bit that I know, is that he charged at him. Yes, to your point, right? You have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do that you feel like you're going to defend yourself. What I'm saying is the moment you decide to do that, you got to take what comes with it. Now, when I said art, anything around art was my analysis of when I hear other men sit around and say, oh, well, he should be penalized because he was scared. He didn't grow up like that. And I'm just like, no, when we come in and do that, I'm saying, no, like, if you think that way, then you should have just walked away. That's the only time I said should. But when other people, I've been listening to people talk about this the same way you've been listening to people talk about it. And I heard your analysis earlier, and I think we kind of align on what we've been hearing. It's like, it's kind of foolish in a way. What I'm saying is, you can't, once you make a decision, you can't double back and then try to right the wrong, like, oh, he was scared, so he did that, so he shouldn't have to do no time. That's the only thing. That's what I'm saying. Should to you, if you're going to have that thought process, then he should have walked away, because you cannot sit up there and do something and not take what comes with it. That is my analysis of the situation. I never said what Carmelo should have done. I said that he did. I did. I said my.
He got 35. He's going to try to appeal and all this. How many years do you think he should get?
Hold on. I think so. This is a couple different things from this situation, right? The moment, now I know the father is wilding out right now, but the moment that the father forgave them, I think in public they should have embraced that as much as possible. And they should have, instead of they doing that, they kind of almost separate themselves and kind of went and did what we do, which is like, oh, we gotta protect ourselves to be black. They should have, if they did the right thing, they should have made every sense and purposes of gravitate to that situation and seeing if they can get some type of goddamn plea deal. In my mind, before he got charged, I said manslaughter, which I don't know the time limits on manslaughter, because I don't think the boy intentionally went out there to kill him. But I think he should be penalized. He should be penalized. So he should learn something for bringing a knife into a venue that it wasn't supposed to be there in the begin with, and at the same time he killed somebody. I don't think he intentionally wanted to kill him, but he did that. So to me, that's manslaughter. So if y'all want to go to Texas law and figure out what's the time range on manslaughter, then that's what I think he should be getting. And then what I think he should do is prove himself, and then hopefully he can get out on good behavior in his halftime. So if that's 5 to 10 years, that's what he probably should be. But I think his parents and them, they were selfish about the situation and thought they were going to walk away scot-free. And I think that's just due to the way our culture thinks, and didn't try to appeal at all, and just try to hold ground on a case where he was at fault. The weapon was in a place that it should not have been. So they're going to give you time. So you should, because now, and so you know the moment that you go to court, because now you got taxpayer dollars involved, they're going to penalize you even more. So the 35-year sentence or whatever you got now, it's because they went the distance on something that was stupid in the first place. I should have tried to figure out a way to get a. Go ahead.
I think your take is extremely reasonable. Do you think that this situation shows anything about white culture in the United States? We already did the diagnose about black culture, and you talk about like how usually black people use. Like, does this situation reflects anything on white culture and how they move?
To a certain degree. I mean, you talking about the actions of the boy or the
actions of the boy? Absolutely. Around it. Let's stay with the boy. Yes.
It was nothing. So to me, right, it was nothing in that action. It was not race related, and just those actions, in my opinion. To me, you at a track meet, you under a tent that's not yours. I can't really just say outright that I'm gonna bring race into it. Like, and I've been in sporting events. Like, I played sports coming up as well. And it was like law that if you wasn't on our team and you wasn't from our school, you pretty much stayed. We could mix and mingle in between, but like where we sit and where we at, you're not supposed to be there. So I think the aggression between the two had nothing to do with race. Had to do with simply you have two teenage, young boys, right, with a lot of testosterone in their body, basically taunting each other, and one was willing to go ahead and move into action, and another one was ready to bring a weapon to a fist fight. I don't think race was involved in that. I don't think there's no diagnosis on his side for him just being an aggressor.
But you made it about race. I made it about race on our end. No. You sound like you are actually an intelligent person, right? So this is and I'm nitpicking you. This is my problem with what you're saying, right? So Carmelo behavior is a small sample of the bigger problem about a certain community, which in my opinion might be a fair assessment because you do 1 + 1 = 2. But a white kid being a bully to a black kid, knowing that American history is literally forged by white people fucking up with black people, taking people's shit, bullying them, taking people out of their land. All this is not a reflection on 300 years of shenanigans that white people did to black people. And like once again, like I said, one second, like I said, it's not that I want to point the finger to white people and do the whataboutism. is that if you have this smoke and you are going to put black people on the microscope and using this little example to extrapolate
Right.
to a bigger population, I don't understand why can you do the opposite and do the same thing to Metcalf and say, see, this is like what is the guy called? The Amazing Lucas, they called him the this is the lineage of evil. See, they can keep the answer themselves. They're always fucking with black people. Like Jim Crow and slavery was 70 years ago, and they still fucking with black people. Like, why is not that the reflection of white people in mass, but Carmelo is?
So let me answer it this way, right? So I do you live? All right. So let me ask, how long have you actually been in America?
Yo, Norman, give me a second. I gotta set out the super chats real quick.
Go ahead.
My bad, man. Hold on. Yo, shout out to this shit hella slow.
Bandwagon.
Yo, shout out to Chris Reed. Thanks for the $2 super chat. What if he took a pencil out and protected himself? I guess he's asking the panel this question.
It probably shouldn't. You wouldn't be in jail right now because a pencil is not seen as a deadly weapon. And by the way, people from South and North Carolina that are Rocky Knicks are all bandwagons. I said it first.
Oh, I can tell you my story. So if you look at my tagline, right, this is actually a game worn jersey right here. So if you actually look at my tagline, it says the real Carmelo Anthony fan. So I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and if you know about Baltimore, we don't have a basketball team. So I follow players. When I was coming up, Melo was my guy. I followed him to New York. He played in New York for like 8 years. I never left. So like when he went to OKC, I stayed with New York because I'm an East Coast guy. So my whole thing coming up, I always would root for East Coast teams. So when he went west, I was like, even when he was with the Nuggets,
show me your Jeremy Lin t-shirt jersey. Show me show me your Stephen Marbury jersey.
You don't even look at this jersey. You don't even know who this is.
Yes. Hey, I have a Netherlands jersey right now. I have no.
You don't even know who this. I know who this is.
I don't have to. Nick suck. Like I don't have to know Nick's history. Like
we champs, baby.
Well, congratulations.
Let me shout out this last super chat real quick. My bad, Fatty.
No, it's my fault.
Shout out to Chris Reed again for the $5 super chat. And he says, can we all agree on 10 years probation? Is that satisfiable? Answer the question. Norman, what's your thoughts on that?
That could have been. I mean, I think for a manslaughter charge, that could have been something. But I think it would have been, to me. Again, I don't know the terms on manslaughter, but if I said 10 years, I said like 5 year sentence. With 5 year probation afterwards.
And Rush, if you can drop the link in the chat again, please.
I got you. Fatty, hold on.
And Rush, I think when you was doing the link, man, it kept going to the comments. I know. So.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was going to the comment section. I had to. Hey, I told Fatty about 2 years ago. I was like, man, I'm gonna send you this Knicks jersey when we were still garbage. He kicked me out of his chat. So.
No, that's crazy. I'm a Lakers fan from. There's no following people around. People that
y'all need to let LaMelo, not LaMelo. Y'all need to let LeBron go, man.
Yeah, you should go to the Knicks.
Business.
Oh hell no!
Nah, he need to go back to Cleveland. No, we don't need none of that.
You should go to the Knicks. Hey, give him $60 million. You got it. Rush, you want me to read?
Go ahead.
No, I gotta sign in again. Hold on, because StreamYard tripping.
I will read the Where are you? Where was the last time that you read? The last one.
Chris Reed.
Okay, so Chris Reed says, "What happens if you cut someone off on the freeway?" I don't know. You decide. You have free will. You decide what happens when you cut somebody off. Then Chris Reed says, "What if he took a pencil?" Okay, I already read this one. And then Chris Reed says, "Can we all agree 10?" Okay, you read everything. I agree with Norman on this one. He should get whatever the manslaughter is if you think it was manslaughter. I think that's fair. And if manslaughter is 21, do 21. If manslaughter is 4, you do 4. But it is what it is.
Let me
Yo,
ask y'all
yo,
a
Fat,
question,
I
man.
put it in the back chat, the link.
Let me
Yeah,
ask y'all a question. Hey, Fatty, do you
Rush,
think there's an issue with
Rush, the
the?
problem is this,
Oh my
Rush.
bad.
1 second. Rush, we don't have wrenches on chaotic and on your chat. I at least don't have it. So even if I have the link, I can spread it because this is not my chat.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you do you have a wrench on chaotic on your shit or not?
Nah.
Damn. That's fucked up. Go ahead, jerk.
Yeah, I was
Friends,
just gonna ask,
chaotic.
man. Do you think there's like too much gray area in these like stand your ground laws? Because one thing I did agree with what Norman was saying, man. Up north, there's none of this like stand your ground shit. It's like if you escalate to the point you pull out a weapon, you go into jail. So you think they need to tighten up the laws, Fatty?
They absolutely need, because once again, they push that shit. What is the name of the sheriff that when he's doing those press conference they say, yeah, y'all should go ahead and invade my home so I have an excuse to da. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Florida and Texas, like he's the wild, like he's we know what is happening there. There's a reason why once again they say is the fuck around and find out states. We know if you're going to do this to these people, there might be severe retaliation because they are going to walk away scot-free. So yes, I think those two states in particular has a lot of bravado and a lot of like militant vigilante type of culture. You see what I'm saying? I don't need to go to the cops and wait and call. I'll handle myself because I have guns. I agree with Norman on the situation. Once you actually take the gun out of a holster, you are putting yourself in a position where you can literally lose your life or be in jail for the rest of your life for something that might not be justified. And these are split seconds. Hey, jerk,
It is.
so many times that I fought on the basketball court and I said, what the fuck am I doing? Like, this is so stupid. Right?
Yeah.
Because you get the elbow and now the person
Right.
pretends playing basketball and get you within the elbow. Now all of a sudden we're fighting. But there's the thing. I never was in a situation where I had the brick, where I had the gun, where I had the knife. So there's not a lot of wiggle room for me to move. On the United States, especially in those two states, is is very inconsistent. Like it's supposed to be kind of a universal rule. If you put hands on somebody, you are going to pay the consequences, no matter what the consequences are. But then everybody wants to go to technicalities. Oh, but it was just one finger. It did poop. Oh, it was a full shove. It was an elbow. Like, actually, I have a question for you, jerk.
Yeah.
If we get footage of the situation and it's actually a full-blown punch, he was not put hands on you, he was not shoving you, it was a full-blown punch, would you change your opinion? And the follow-up question is, do you think most people will change their opinion? Do you think most people say, oh, this is clearly a person being attacked, if you're for his life, he good? Like, do you think most people change their opinion or not?
For a punch, I would still have the same stance because I just feel, man, you fight it out,
Hmm?
and let it be what it is. But I think most people are gonna keep their stances because it's like you said. I think most people already chose this side and they're gonna die on that hill. I think it will only be a small percentage that might look at it differently, but most people chose their side already. Because also going back, I like what you were saying about the race thing. Most people injected the race on it was like the content creators and all the adults. So it wasn't even racial at that point until they kind of chimed in on that.
It's shit that they're already feeling. Is just an excuse to actually act on it,
Facts.
right? It's like, for example, right? And I know if you guys watch, when Marvin came on our show, we kept our composure. Like, actually, we went out of our way to say, "Hey, everybody, no, nobody does nothing. We know what it is." And on the next day, I wake up and there's a video right now with 800,000 views calling us black supremacists and anti-white and saying we chimped out. It's not that they actually saw the video and made an educated opinion about what they saw. They already wanted us to be chimps and to do some dumb shit. So they went ahead and used that, took it out of context and push it. Most content creators and most people are very tribalist. They don't, like, literally, they care. They look at their life like it's a basketball team. The Lakers did it, great job. The Celtics won, man. This shit is rigged. Then the league is rigged. Then they try to stop us. It's always us against them, which is not healthy on a society that is so multicultural. Because once again, you are going to pay dearly if you are raising people on an environment where people are literally passing judgment not because of how you move, but how you actually look. This is how people get endangered. This is how people actually get touched. So, hey man,
this is yeah. I wanted to answer your question from before you hit the super chats, just to respect the fact that you. I mean, because you had a point, right? Like, why did I had a disposition, or I made a position on Carmelo and his actions, and why I don't have anything for Austin? And to be honest with you, and I did ask it was sort of a facetious question because I know that you don't live here.
Sure.
But one of the things is, for me, like I'm gonna make it anecdotal a little bit. Me being from up north in Baltimore, right, and experiencing culture there, and like we were completely separated from white people. I was even really around white people when I lived up north, other than like when you had to go out and do things like go to the store or something like that. But our communities were very segregated, which is it's very weird thinking about it now. When I came down south and I moved to South Carolina first, the air was thick. Like if you live down south, they say beau and boy and stuff like that. And I tried to I look into the history of like where did this come from? Everybody just say that, but it had a negative connotation. It's a boy. I'm calling you a boy, essentially, right? When it comes to aggression, even throughout my history of living up north, Baltimore, down south, South Carolina, North Carolina, to be honest with you, I haven't had too many white people be aggressive with me. So this whole idea that like white people are attacking, like they can say some smart shit sometimes. Now I've seen that. Now I had situations even when I was in college where a guy kind of talked to me funny. I was just asking for a stapler, and he kind of came at me crazy. Some administrative guy, and I almost got in a fight with him because I became the aggressor after he said something smart to me. But to be honest, a physical aggression, and I think this is one thing that we need to be honest about in our community. How many of us really been attacked by a white person?
That's fair, but you can reverse it. It's a small minority of men and women that are attacking people, black people that are attacking other people too.
Well, true.
It's a very small percentage of people overall that get into fights. Most people fought once in their life. Let me be fair. After their teenage years, when you kid, it is what it is. If I ask everybody 18 and up, black, Asian, most of these people fought once. Oh, most people are not putting hands on each other. So even though it might happen a little bit more, or maybe a lot more in the black community, it's still a very small percentage of black people.
That's true.
Most black people, if you ask him, hey, when's the last time you fought? 2017, 2009. Like, if you can spend 8 years without no type of commotion, no type of fighting, no type of nothing, I don't think you should be judged by 3%, 5% of hyper-aggressive people in the community that are actually doing nefarious things when the rest of the 90% of the community is not doing that shit. It's not a representation of the group.
I mean, I feel you, but again, even my history, I'm trying to think the last time I fought. It's probably shit. Last time I fought was high school. Maybe a little tussle in college, but I don't even count that really. Like, we really didn't really go in. But even for like through my life, it's been avoiding it. It's not that it's not there. The opportunity wasn't there. It definitely was there. But most of the time when it was there, it was with us, right? Like, it wasn't with somebody from the outside. And I would assume on the same thing on their end, right? It's going to be some fighting somebody within their community. So to me, when I see the boy attacking him or rushing him or whatever, to me, that's two young kids being aggressive. One is talking a little bit funny. He's like, yo, like, I'm not going to move. We all been in that situation. We all seen those situations where somebody like, yo, try me. And it's they literally taunting each other until somebody makes the action, makes the move. And I think the kid made a move, man. He was young and dumb. And again, testosterone is flying when you're that young, man. Like, you don't know what's going, I think the boy was like, yo, I'm a football player. Let me do a football move on you. I think that's it.
With Kyle. on the Kyle planet. It's again, it's unfortunate. I just question for you, Rush. If this was two white people or two black people, would this be national news for this long? Two white kids or two black
Kids
kids,
or two
like
black
would it,
like
oh shit. Here we go. Oh shit, bro.
oh shit.
Let's go, Rush. Rush
Russ
had
was
the
like,
whole
fuck that. Russ
Nickelodeon.
was like, that's too much.
Rush had the whole Nickelodeon playing and shit.
Yeah, a hell of a
Like I
ringtone.
said, man, this is not that it's a nothing burger because a life was lost. But if this was two black kids, this shit would not even make the news.
No, it wouldn't. We wouldn't know anything about. I mean, Juneteenth. I mean, we just had the Black holiday in Chicago. I mean, how many people died up there in the drive-by? Like they just had recently. Nobody's talking about it. That's what I'm saying. Like we pick and choose, man.
People kind of talking about it.
Yeah, they talking about, the ones that want to challenge is talking about, but like really having like going back and forth. I don't know.
But there's so this is why I don't think a lot of times is fair. Like if y'all ever lived in a bad neighborhood, 90% of people hate the 10% of people that are on some bullshit. Like what usually is
Facts.
painted from the outside is, oh, look at those over there and that neighborhood. But in reality, 90% of those people don't like when they play music loud at 11 p.m. in the evening. They don't like when their neighborhood value goes down because they're selling drugs in front of the building. They don't like when there's bodies like they don't like it. It's not that they just can't move. They don't have enough money.
Right.
They don't have enough provision. They don't have enough people pushing them in the right directions to actually move them. So I would make more blanket statements if the blanket statements were actually representation of a gigantic population of these people. And I would do the same with white people too. I believe that at some point of time, everybody was in cahoots with each other, right? Like there was a silent handshake that we are going to treat these people that are a little bit darker than us in a certain type of way. I believe that today, for you to put those allegations out there, you actually need to have some evidence. Because if I will look at, for example, if white people are inherently racist towards black people, most people that were outside during the George Floyd situation were actually white dudes and white girls. A lot of that burning and shit, there was white people doing that shit, white liberals just going around and going crazy. Like literally doing COVID here in Portugal, in France, in Spain, there was a bunch of white people going around outside and going crazy because of the George Floyd situation. So, like I said, I believe that as long as we're consistent, I love to talk about these things, but when we become inconsistent, that actually becomes problematic. So,
So, and maybe because I'm actually black, but this is something I'm sensitive to. Like to your point, right? There's a small minority. It's a silent majority, is what I always call it, that don't say anything. And I think in our culture, like perception is reality. People's perception is reality. And one thing in our culture, and it's the reason why I look at the men for this right here. And I think we as black men haven't taken control of the perception of our culture. Like the things that other people think on the outside, we have let it be perverse through our culture in a way to the outside. They think that's what it is. And we are not saying anything about it. And I think, or we do have voices that say things about it, but then those people get called coons, or like, you'll see a lot of people just shut up and go on about their life. But the fact of the matter is that it ends up impacting the kids, because then the kids just get immersed into the culture and think that's the way to move. And we know for a fact that's not we have people like you saying, right? I lived in the hood, like, and I stayed out the way for the most part. Like, did I do some things? Yeah, I did I hustled a little bit, but at the same time, when it came to like gunplay and stuff, I didn't get involved in that like that, because I ain't want no parts of that. That wasn't even my nature. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, when you was in the neighborhood and you got to worry about shots being fired at night, like you want that to stop. But the thing is that the critique that I always have on us is that we don't try to control the narrative of our culture.
but you can't.
For the most part. But you can.
You can. No, you know why you
so
can? No, it's because you don't control them. You don't control like the idea of certain communities is all media related.
Yes.
If I control the media, if I control the newspapers, I control how people view you. There's a lot of bad people that control the media and are viewed in a certain way, and people that don't do it. How could black people?
We've had this argument about the Jews, the Uis, or the small hats. I'm sorry, CT in your channel. And I get who controls media, but we let that pervade. So we was having a conversation about Cosby the other day, and there's actually now I'm actually going to do a whole dissertation on Bill Cosby, the Cosby Show, and how that show was #1 during its first 4 years. And then if you actually watch the trends of TV watching in the black community over like through the late 80s, through the 90s, I didn't go into the 2000s. You could see like a certain shift in what we was actually watching, right? And it's also on the rise of hip hop. I'm a hip hop dude. Had my own studios, all that good stuff. And the golden age, I consider the 90s the golden age of hip hop. That's when hip hop was at its top peak, had the most dominance in music, in my opinion, even though it sold even more like in the 2000s. But if you watch like those, yes, you have a small demographic controlling that. But we let it go. We let go the reins. And when people like a Bill Cosby, and you think about it, he was super popular here. And I remember the early 90s, we start having this thing of like, man, F what Bill Cosby talking about when he tell you to pull your pants up. We let those images pervade throughout our community. And again, like you do have, I go to the story of the Godfather movie when they shot that movie. And the Italians went up to Paramount Studios and told them, they basically took the doors off the studio, the movie studio, and told them that y'all going to tell our story the way we want you to tell our story. Even though it was about some, mob type, it was about mob life.
Yeah, and we don't
try to put control over we actually are more susceptible to the outside influences controlling us, and then we don't even have control over our own products. We just let go.
But there's the point, right? But then when you do BET, imagine if we had a white entertainment. Like these things were happening before. This was like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was white people in the 80s. People didn't have no problem with that. In the 60s, the hippies. People didn't have no problem with that. Kind of, they had the problem. They had the problem. They had the problem, but it was not. Oh, white people are all drug addicts that fuck like rabbits and are degenerates. You see what I'm saying? But
why is that?
Let me explain to you, right? It's the same way is the crack epidemic was something that reflects white people, but now the opioid crisis is something that is a mental health crisis, and people need to be saved. It's because the people that are in power are going to spin narratives to actually condemn certain people and tell you that this is a bad example of a certain group, while they'll turn around and say to the other group, this thing is a nothing burger. These people need to be helped. If you can control the narrative, which is the media, social media, and the news and all that, you can actually paint how I see Norman. If I am a bigger content creator than you, Norman, and I have 1 million subscribers, and I want to paint you as a bandwagon Knicks fan, there's no proof that you can have come in here and showing your pamphlets and your hats and all that shit. I'll say, oh, he bought it on eBay He bought it on eBay last week, so he covered his tracks. See what I'm saying? If I can paint a narrative and I have 13 news networks and I control the music that goes out and I control all the things, I'm going to make sure to paint you a certain type of way. So
I sent that off I sent that card off in 2022. It's not. This is when nobody believed in Brunson.
Yeah, after the pandemic.
This card, I got this card for $20. This card is worth $3,000 right now.
Yep. Sounds like a extremely strong fan.
Yeah.
And by the way,
rookie cards.
And by the way, take.
Yo, let me shout out the super chat real quick.
Sure. Do you want me to read it?
Shout out to Cash Flow Hustle. Thanks for the $5 super chat. Hey, Fatty, wait till the 4th of July and watch black folks start kung fu scrapping.
Thank you very much for the super chat. So
Go
So
ahead.
what I was saying is just if you control the media, you control the narratives. And this is what I'm talking about, right? What is the difference? In my opinion, Britney
Mhm.
Spears dressing as a high school girl saying, oops, I did it again, and all the innuendos about sexual shit. What's the difference between her and I don't cook, I don't clean, wop, 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 wop? Listen, what I'm saying? It's just that
Can
you
I?
look at one side and you kind of like, that's innocent, and you look at the other side and you think that's crazy.
This comes down to men again, black men. This is where I put the spotlight on us.
Black men
To your
being
point,
Britney
right?
Spears.
To your point, the opioid crisis that's happening to white people right now, but that does not the face of white people, right? I've known some white folks that whatever, like they do what they do. They have a small percentage of people that cause ruckus, just like we have a small percentage of people that cause ruckus as well. The problem is that, and this is the reason why I get upset when I hear this about this Carmelo Anthony story. It kind of goes back to this, because the moment when we actually have a moment to say, you know what, this is what we shouldn't do. This is how we can actually do better the next time this comes around, X, Y, and Z. We don't say anything like that. We start making excuses about why the situation happened. And I'm telling you, like in our community in particular, we just have this, and it may be because I am part of the community. A lot of the messaging that we do, we accept the bottom rung in their actions. We make excuses for the bottom rung. And because of that, it turns to the outside looking in, it turns into our narrative together. How many times when you think of, listen, I'm the biggest rap fan. I'm the biggest rap fan. How many times when we was coming up, it's like, yeah, I'm talking about this because this is where I came from. When we were just talking about Prodigy. Mobb Deep is my favorite group of all time. Prodigy's father was a jazz musician. His great-great-grandfather was one of the founders of Morehouse. He didn't even grow up like that in Queensbridge. But that's what he put out to the world. And when our artists go out there to the world, we don't say he could still make the music, but nobody was saying like, you know what? That's not what represents us. We embrace the bottom. Listen, I'm telling you, for living here in America, does. Not the white people don't embrace that.
Really? Hey, Norman.
They don't embrace that.
Hey, Norman. Sons of Anarchy.
They might do it.
Sons of Anarchy.
They might do it behind closed doors.
Blinders. The Godfather. What is the Scarface? The kids from the favela in Brazil. The Yakuza in Japan. The motherfucking mobsters in Italy. All these people are put on the pedestal by their locals. If you actually go to a white community and somebody's a part of the Hell Angels, they literally are put on the pedestal that other people are not. If you go to the South a few years ago, you would see that people with white robes will be put on the pedestal compared with other people. This is not a black people stuff. Because Norman, one second, let me just land, Norman. Norman. I guarantee you, Norman, there are more people, white people, with Scarface tattoos on him, right? Or more Latino people with a Pablo Escobar tattoo on them than is black people with whatever Denzel Washington played on the American Gangster. This people like badasses. That's what it is for the most part. So you can tell me that this is a black people person to actually put on the pedestal the worst of us, when we see over and over again these people put in Marilyn Manson, Charlie Sheen. I don't even want to go to Donald Trump. Right? Remember what you said with the excuses, right? We keep making excuses for the worst of us. Donald Trump and his class right now. Right? No, it's fine. It's because you have time to reply. Donald Trump right now is literally covering the biggest pedophile ring of all time, and there's millions and millions and millions of people that are not black for the most part, whitewashing and pretending that shit doesn't exist and justified bad behavior. He said grab him by the pussy. Oh, you know what it is. Oh, he said walk into a dressing room and they all naked and all that shit. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all don't have the same type of criteria for the black people that you have for white people, because I guarantee you, if black people had a ring of PDF files that touch hundreds of not thousands of people, you would be right now talking about, see, black people protecting the worst of them.
So
You don't have the type of
I
smoke
just
with
want to
white
say
people.
something. I'm just going to make a statement, and I'm gonna ask a question, and I'm gonna shut up. So, to me, I critique us because I want us to win. That's the like people take they take the critique as I'm not for us. I want us to win. I actually, bro. I mean, when I used to rap, there's a bar I used to say, it's a man made superior to think inferior was one bar that I wrote. Like I love us. That's why I'm so critical. Okay, so my question to you and to Russ, I want to get off the mic because people telling me I'm hogging the mic. Do you not think that black men or black people in general can do a better job of controlling our own narrative? You don't think we
No.
have no room for improvement?
No, everybody has room for improvement, including black people. If you don't control how the media portrays a certain group, you can control how a black man in Portugal is actually consuming American media. You can't. Like, what can you do? Like, once again, what can you do to humanize people from Kingston? What can you do to humanize people if everything I see is, hey, LA is full of homeless, and look at those people over there in Skid Row and all these things? Like, you can control that. There's the media pushing some things out and hiding other things out. You can all be better, but the media controls what actually gets on your feed.
Fatty, so what controls, and you being a content creator, you understand this. What controls what gets views or what's able to be aired?
The YouTube algorithm and the YouTube overlords.
Sponsors, right? In eyeballs, essentially, right?
Sure.
So I can say a whole bunch of stuff, but if nobody's looking, eventually YouTube is going to push me out of the algorithm, and I'm gonna be fighting for my life to get back in, right? Like you understand as a YouTuber. And then you also understand that network television kind of works the same. It's the same thing. Like the reason why shows get canceled is that they can't make the sponsors that they air during that show. If nobody watched the show, they're not going to see the sponsors. We can't make money.
Sure.
If there wasn't eyeballs, then these things in the media, you could say it's controlled by the media, but it also needs a consumer. So again, like, and maybe the consumer could be outside of the demographic because we are a minority, right? That could be the thing that you up against, right? It's the fact that maybe you don't support it and you just not watch it, but maybe a culture outside of you is watching it. So now it's still being aired and being perverted, like some perversion of your culture is being spread. I could give some credence to that. Being here and knowing people and having these conversations over the year, us as men, and again, our people putting on men because I think there's a responsibility of men in controlling the narrative of their culture. I've had these conversations in real time, and I've had men struggle to criticize, and we actively make excuses, and they look at me like I'm the one that's the wrong one. But my thing is, my criticism is coming from a stance of I want to see you do better because I came from the way I live now today and what I've been able to achieve versus like where I actually came from is completely night and day. Like my parents like don't even understand what I do for a living at this point because I'm out of space to them. But the only reason why is I held accountability from a very young age. So I think and I learned from other people's mistakes. But it's like we do this thing of like we put it on everybody else. It's the ooish person's fault because they just put these depictions out here of us. Oh, it's this person's fault because they own the company. It's that person's fault. The reason why them small hats could be such a small population, but be like the Michael Jordan of all populations, they control their own narrative and they made sure they build strong inner networks and they to the point that they wield the US like a weapon. And they're small. Sure. This is a small population. They don't afford to just get their own part of land. Like, but
Norman,
go ahead.
Norman, but that's the problem, Norman. Like, there's a saying that says this, right? The difference between a hero and a villain is that the hero is remembered by the best things they did in their life, and the villain is remembered by the worst. Black people never did to white people what these people did to the Palestinians. Ever. No, not who cares. This is what I'm talking about. It's always who cares, right?
Because
Black people,
I care
no,
about
let
us.
me, no. See, listen to my point, right? If you are going to compare people that come from that country and have their descent, and you are going to compare the best of them and the bankers and all these people, right? And then when you talk about the black community, we're going to talk about the worst. I have the right to say, okay, black people are killing each other, but y'all are literally killing innocent people on the borders next to you, and literally committing something cleansing, right? But there's the thing,
Right.
a person like Norman will never put two beds next to each other. A person like Norman will put the bad part from the black community on a pedestal. See, oh, look at these niggas, look at these people that don't want to live. And then when you're talking about the other communities, instead of doing
Oh, I
the
got
same
criticism.
and we compare one with the other, we don't. You know why they actually have power, Norman? Is because their agency is dirt on all of y'all politicians. So if
For
you
sure.
don't go to war with Iran, your
Right.
president and a bunch of people on both sides of
Be
the aisle
exposed.
are going to go to jail or worst. So
Well, this
no,
this is sheer
Norman,
money lobbyists. I
no,
get it.
no, Norman, black
I get it.
people,
But
black people,
go
black.
ahead.
No, let me just say this is a Norman promise. I don't talk anymore. If black people design the whole island so politicians and celebrities can go there to touch little kids so they can have dirt on them for the next 40 years, that will be one of the biggest atrocities that black people did in the history of the United States. But because it's the guys over there literally created honeypots and traps for these people, sex trafficking kids across borders and all these, to actually have ammunition to the politicians so they can do their job. Instead of calling it smart, instead of calling it power, if we call it like it is, which is an atrocity, you will understand, Norman, that nobody that looks like you did the amount of atrocities these people actually did to other people. So now that I
All right.
said that, ignore exactly what I say and talk
No,
about the
I'm
good
gonna
of one
address it.
group and the bad of the other. You got it.
Say no, I'm gonna address it. No. I
Sure.
feel you, right? There's atrocities across the board, right?
Here
And
we
I'm not
go.
going to try to minimize it. I'm not going to try to minimize it by that. To your point, right? I get previous to everything that you said. I have no disposition against that. My problem is that we can talk about all those things, but what we going to do? Because my thing is the thing that we falter on is organization. We falter on infrastructure, right? When we sit here and we sit there and take these
Yo,
takes of
my bad, fam. But I got to cut it short, man. So, yo, let me get y'all last words. So,
okay.
because Fatty, he got another stream to handle. So I'm not trying to take up too much of his time. So let me get y'all last words before we kill this live.
No,
Talk
go
to
ahead,
him.
Norman. Finish your point and then I'll go next.
I mean, listen, man. No, first and foremost, no, I appreciate y'all. Letting the kid come up here. Go Knicks. We are 2026 champs. Listen, Fatty. No, it's been a good conversation. I'm gonna have to try to pull up on your channel one day, man. But
Catch
all
us
I,
before we
I
get
could,
famous, man.
right. I gotta get it there before you blow. I know. I see you on your way, man. I see you on your way, man. Salute to you, man. Keep on going, man.
I appreciate it, sir.
No, you got a good thing going. What I want to say is that yes, I came up here because the Carmelo Anthony situation is very controversial. But to me, like I have this, like if you want to sum up my position and everything that we talking about, even this conversation that we having right now, is that I want to put the onus on us, especially us as men, because our job is to build. And I think when we get into these conversations of, oh, such and such did this, oh, the media over there, oh, look what they doing. Like, what are we doing to make either to take care of us and ours or the narrative that's around us? Like around me, my narrative is different now than it was when I was growing up. It's still somewhat the same because I have certain cultural things that I'm into, but I've taken control over my life, and I have stopped having these kind of conversations about what somebody else is doing. So that's every time I come on the internet, that's usually like if you see any position I take, it's about you taking control of your own situation. I can't control what Fatty does. I can't control what Russ does. I can't control what people that's coming at me in the chat. I can't control none of that. But what are we going to do, or what are you going to do to actually make your situation the situation that you want? And that's all I care about. And I want that energy to be more in our community than talking about who got power. Go get some power. That's and I'll land my plane on that.
Thank you for having me, Rush, and thank you very much for the conversation, Norm. I appreciate it. And shout out to the people in the chat. If y'all can bless Rush Cash App, I would appreciate it. Rush doesn't never ask for money and all that. So Rush, I think you should drop the Cash App in the chat so all these people can support you. I will say this, right? Hey, friends, be fair. That's all. You need to be balanced. If black people do some bullshit, go ahead and put them on the cross. If white people do some bullshit, do exactly the same. I have no responsibility for the ninja that is doing some dumb shit, just like white people are not responsible for the white supremacists and KKK members that do some dumb shit. That would be ridiculous for me to point at Donald Trump or whatever and say, see, look at what they're doing in Alabama. This is y'all peoples. No, we know how to compartmentalize everything that happens to these white people as they should. We shouldn't judge a white person that is actually friends of black people by the KKK member that puts people on ropes, right? So I would expect the same thing from black people. The day that y'all are fair and you judge everybody by the same type of behavior, I'm ready to throw everybody under the bus. For then, I will make sure to be fair, not balanced, because balance doesn't need to be had. Rush, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I see you around, my brother. See you soon to you, Norman. And on the people on the chaotic clubhouse, you're all crazy. Not clubhouse, chaotic. Truth, y'all all crazy, but I love y'all. Okay, appreciate y'all. And I'll see you around the internet.
Yeah, thanks again, Fatty. Appreciate you.
My brother. Great show.
Yo, thanks for pulling up, Norman. Yeah, y'all are tuned into the Labudo Network, man, powered by the Chaotic Truth Live. It's your boy Rush, aka Raw Mundo, out here chasing that pollo, that guacamole, that rago. Seek wisdom, practice humility, and those remain sucker free. You heard? I'm out. One.